On today's episode, we discuss a song that gives you a bop. Billie Eilish, Kobe Bryant reselling? What? Yuck.
It's your boy, Kicksguard, back in the building.
My name is Ramon.
And I'm your boy, Snow.
And why I had to preface this.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. About this cookie is because this is not just a cookie. This cookie is the hood schoolgoers cookie.
That's a butternut crunch thing?
Butter crunch cookie, son.
Son, what is in that? That's the yellow one, right?
Yeah, butter crunch, son.
What the fuck is butter crunch?
Butter crunch, son. Butter. Butter with crunch.
I love them shits.
And it's sweet.
I was ecstatic when I found out that you could buy it outside of school.
Son.
Because you remember, like, again, when I migrated here on the banana boat, they used to give them out in school. You'd be like, yo, son, these fucking cookies are amazing.
Yeah, son.
And then we went to the corner store one day and I saw them, was like,
Yeah.
Son, and you tried to buy the entire box?
the whole box. I was like, yo, is he coming with me, fam?
They were like 50 cents.
Yeah, them shits are good as fuck.
So I don't know.
I really like those.
I don't know how we're going to get through this episode with me munching on the fucking mic.
I had to say something, man. I'm not a huge fan of these butter crunches.
Son,
You're
cut
a
his
fucking
fucking
hater,
mic.
son.
Cut his fucking mic off. Let's turn the mic
Son,
down.
hang on. Let me see if I got.
Chocolate,
Let me see if I got the right. Yeah. Oh
the
shit,
red
that's
one.
the wrong
It's the
one.
red one.
It's the wrong ones.
Yeah.
It's not the red one, you son of a bitch.
It is the red one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, son. Where's the booze at, son?
That was it.
That's the booze? We need some real
I
booze.
get you something stronger.
Son, how do you not
Can't
like
fade me, fam.
butter crunch cookies and chocolate milk in school?
Wait, hold on. Chocolate milk's for the
yes.
birds, B.
Nah,
Son,
chocolate milk.
chocolate
son,
milk.
chocolate
Move in
milk.
for the chocolate milk comment.
Nah, fam.
Son.
Fam. I don't need no brown shit in my milk, B.
Matter of fact.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Don't put no brown shit in my strawberry, however.
Yeah, but they didn't give you strawberry at school.
Well, they did in Barbados, sir.
Whoa, listen, son.
I expect better of America.
Sorry,
What's this
you
thing
get
on South
chocolate.
Park? If you don't like it, you can get out.
For sure.
Let me ask a question.
Okay.
Let me start with Tawan.
I put the fucking cookie.
That's not my problem. It's not my problem, son.
Butter crunch.
I'm going to start with Tawan, son. What song changes the way you walk when you hear it? You know what I mean? It just turns you into Superman, like.
You hear that crunch, son? I would have to say, the first song that jumps into my mind. Like, there's a lot new, but this song here, it just, when I heard it, first of all, it's a Timberland track, but it's not a Timberland
You were
song.
a big fan of Timberland.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
How could you not? You're a goat.
He's a goat. Timberland is a goat. Timberland is a goat.
I can only accept that because Jay-Z let him back in. I'm that petty.
Jay-Z never moved him anywhere. They had a disagreement.
That's all
over
it takes for
something.
me, son.
Then how is Ye still in your life then?
Watch your mouth, man.
Okay.
Ye was sent from God.
Okay.
There's two gods. There's Hova and there's God.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's hold the God.
yeah.
So that song, and it's a rather underrated song by most hip hop ears.
Okay.
And that is a Snoopy track.
Ooh, you used to play that a lot when you had the system in the
nice.
fucking expedition.
Son,
What'd you have in the back of that shit? 212s?
I had two 12-inch solar barracks.
That was your go-to.
Son, when that song came on, son,
That's a banger, son.
that's a banger.
That song is dripping with filthy swag, and
Yeah, when
I don't give a fuck.
I put that song on and I hopped out that expedition. First of all, my expedition was it was a 9.9 and it was cleaner than a 2004 new body style. So I hopped out that truck and it was, oh man, and that
was a nice truck.
That was rocking. It's like
Snoopy track is strong.
Son, that, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've always felt like that was one of my personal best songs. Even though it had a feature to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what probably took away from it. Even though he worked for it, that was Juvenile. But people
We can skip that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want the Hove and the Timberland.
Yeah. And that song, like, I feel like he should revisit that song with Drake. I feel like he should revisit that. He should either revisit that song with Drake or revisit that song with Pusha T. I'm thinking more Pusha T.
I don't know, because he's married now.
Yes, son. So
Drake?
No. Actually, they both married.
Who? Oh, yeah. Pusha T.
and Jay.
Can I get a runner-up?
A runner-up.
I got so many.
A runner-up would be...
We need to.
I'm not caping for Drake, for Jay-Z, but my next song would
You're a
have to
Brooklyn
be...
boy.
Yeah, you see it. God was born in Brooklyn. I would have to say, what is that song? Cake? Pound Cake.
Yeah.
Drake and Jay-Z.
Yeah. It's a strong song.
Pound
Have
Cake
to be
was...
recent, like
Nah, it's just whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Son, so many just pop in my mind, bro.
I just need the strongest two.
Or maybe the first one I could think of is it actually has "Walk" in the title, which is "This is the way we walk in New York."
Is that a Dipset song?
Nah, that is some
Cam, is that
Onyx.
Onyx.
Onyx got
Okay.
a few that I could say, but I'm gonna let that one be because you just get this like, yo, if the wrong person moved the wrong way while I'm walking this way, you might get snuffed.
You might get punched in your face.
You might get yapped, snuffed,
gonna
or
be a
something
problem.
else. It's gonna be a problem. Like, don't get too
Categorizes
close.
problem
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
There's trap music and there's problem music.
Yeah, problem music comes from New York.
And that's the thing. I'm trying not to give you another one of those because there's so many of those. Like,
No, we get to learn about your characters. You people are very violent.
there's another one.
Yeah, give me another one.
It's from that whole thing. Like, it's a Mobb Deep one with featuring Raekwon and Nas. And Nas has another one too. Like, eye for an eye. We're in this together, son. Your beef is mine.
Got it.
Son, that one too, son.
Okay.
Like, I could be good. I could just finish watching, something from that Walt Disney thing, right? And all happy and cheery, and then that comes on, like, the mood change. I get warm on the inside. I get hot on the inside.
Yeah.
Like somebody just like made me mad for no reason. Like, so it changes my whole mood. So like, and if I'm walking, because it is on my I think it's on my phone or it's on my MP3 player. It's on one of the two, and it just sounds like a whole shift, and the bop comes, and I don't do the deep New York bop. It's just like it's a very subtle bop.
Yo, do the Kanye and the plane bop.
Or the Drake walk away mean bop. Yeah. So it feels like I'm doing it, but I'm not.
Okay.
And then if I had to say another one, damn, this is kind of the same thing as 50 Cent. What's the name of the song?
50 got a few.
Yeah, 50 Cent.
50 got a few for sure. I could see that.
Aim out the window. Oh, Bloodhound. No, not Bloodhound. Staying out. Oh, I'm trying to get it.
I'm not a fan of 50 because I think he's trash, but I don't know the songs by names, but I know his songs. No, you're not talking about in Grandma's Cadillac.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
I forget the name of the song.
I know what he's talking about. It's
I'm mad.
from his first.
Yeah, I'm mad that I forgot because I love that song, and I love the album. But
50's trash though. It's all good.
That's another one where I just feel like that. And it's hard for me to get past all these New York City hood boom bap, and I just realized I just gave 3 Queens rappers the props.
Shame on you. Mm-hmm. I ain't never seen such bullshit in my life though.
Man, those are it. I got one from Snoop, and I don't remember the name of that one, but son, they're all like in that somebody gotta get stuck up.
Okay.
Snoop has one that could be an honorable mention called "For My Niggas."
Never heard it.
Yeah,
is it a real old one?
Nah.
Oh, is that a Snoop song?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's Snoop and C Murder song.
Snoop, C Murder,
which is Master P's brother.
Yeah, and this other dude,
Mr. Madge, I think it is. Not the Mr.
That's
Magic,
crazy. I almost never hear that lyric, the Snoop part.
Oh, he changed the whole tone of the song once he get on.
Yeah, because he was always so smooth. Like he got the smooth whole.
I did.
Okay.
We getting cutty in this mother. We getting nutty in this. Leave a bloody in this.
Okay.
You done did too much. You about to. That shit.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
curses at the beginning.
A lot of curses.
Well, I ain't.
What about you, sir?
I ain't got no Queens references.
Go ahead and pull your fucking Kanye song.
Son, of course. Out
the crack of your ass.
Why else would you have me here at this establishment this evening, sir?
But not for nothing.
Kanye got some
Unbelievable by Big was another one.
Yeah.
And Give Me the Loot.
Yeah, that was a good one. Give Me the Loot was strong.
That's another one.
Give Me the Loot was a good one. For me, it's Real Friends.
Yeah.
What's that one?
The Kanye Real Friends. How many of us?
Can I stop you there for a second? A lot of people, when rating Kanye West's catalog, and a lot of people go to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. They go to what's
Graduation,
one of the Graduation,
probably.
Yeah. They go to all of this. Son,
wait to get me.
Son, Life of Pablo.
Pablo's strong.
Life of Pablo.
Well, people wanted it was popular to hate Kanye then, so I mean.
Yeah, but listen, you know why?
Mixing up the album though, son.
Right. I don't want to
updates for an album. It's trash.
I don't want to be the one to. First of all, I'm not just. I know we were talking about the songs that you like to step out on. But Kanye's Life of Pablo, and I don't like what a lot of other radio voices and podcast voices. This is no slight against anyone. When they say, "Oh, well, Life of Pablo is just a bunch of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy beats," again, no, the fuck they wasn't.
I don't know what they was listening to.
Like,
I wouldn't agree with that.
And
I don't like the Pablo thing too tough. It's not his worst. It's that damn sure. It's not a terrible album. It's just compared to the other stuff I like from him. Mm-hmm. But I did not get dark twisted B-sides. I didn't get that.
Not at all.
I didn't get that at all.
When you listen to Wolves,
yeah, I quite like Wolves.
Listen to that track there,
Real Friends.
The first track where you had the choir, that's one thing they will say that started Kanye with the whole churchy.
No, he been way back.
Yes, he
Jesus
been,
Walks.
Jesus Walks,
even
exactly.
Before that.
Yeah, but it's
Flashing Lights get me to bopping.
Flashing Lights was big too.
It gets me to bopping. It'll change my walk.
Yeah,
I got 2 more coming for y'all.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear
the second one is Hell of a Life.
more fucking Kanye, son.
That's how could you say they live their life wrong when you never fuck with the lights on? Fuck with the lights on.
I'll have you know that fucking with the lights on is under fucking rated.
Son, you've got to be, you know what I'm saying? Son, you got to fight yourself not to get too excited and disappoint.
What?
Can't look down?
No, son. When I fuck with the lights on, son,
it's a dope thing.
Yeah,
it's
man.
A dope thing.
You know I'm in my bag. If I said nah, fucking keep them lights on. I'm in my bag.
I've done with the lights on, and it's a visual thing. My favorite thing is if I can get a mood light.
Yeah.
So like,
get you some Philips Hues, baby.
So it's like,
sure.
But it's like I don't want the entire lights on. I just want the stage.
Sure.
Yeah. I just want the stage.
You out here on Broadway.
Wherever we at, this is the stage.
So you trying to dance in that?
I want the spotlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, act number 42. Snow comes home from Barbecue Central.
Cut a rug.
And my third is all of the lights.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Absolutely. Like when you hear that,
this is not going to become the fucking Kanye show, my man.
Son, what do you want me to say, son?
That's another good one.
What the fucking Kanye show?
I don't have nothing else for you, son. You know what I mean?
You know another one that used to get me?
You ain't got no hove in your Serato?
I got some hove.
You know what another one get me?
Ignorant shit.
Y'all probably wouldn't even never guess this.
What?
Shoot.
Liberian Girl.
Liberian Girl.
Yes. That'll get me.
So what? You start like fucking gliding across the sidewalk?
In my mind, I'm gliding everywhere.
I hear you. I feel that.
And at one time, yes, I was gliding.
I feel that.
At one time, yeah, I would glide. I used to go to Staten Island to go cash these checks, and like from Brooklyn all the way to Staten Island. So I gotta get on it. I gotta get on the A train.
Cash checks is code for. Carry on, sir.
I get on the A train. I get off at was that Broad Nassau.
Then fucking hood.
And then I would walk down to the ferry, get on a ferry. I'm gliding all through the ferry. I'm never stopping. I glide off the ferry. I go up the hill to the left, do my thing, and I'm gliding all the way back.
That's what a powerful song does.
And in case you guys are wondering what he means by gliding, watch any Spike Lee movie. Then you understand what he looks like gliding.
Yeah. That's a good list. Son, you had something to say about Billie Eilish.
Yeah, son.
What?
So
it's the fucking truth, son.
It seems like you're very familiar with Billie Eilish, and I'm gonna let you rock.
I'm not as familiar as I think I should be, knowing music as I know it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have since familiarized myself a good amount.
Okay.
Of like, I know she won 6 Grammys.
So where you coming from? You coming from? So you think Billie Eilish is dope?
So, yes, okay. I think Billie Eilish is dope.
We talking musically, persona,
music, her persona, her just being that teenager that happens to just really put out very good music.
Okay.
Now,
is she a reincarnation of someone, or this is something totally new?
Can I say
like, have we seen this before? Like teenagers rocking the world?
Not like this.
Okay.
Not like this. But there is a deeper, darker conversation that I have, and we touched on that earlier, about Billie Eilish. That I really I'm not caping for her, but I just really feel like because I am so invested in her and her music.
Sure. Which is dope. I've heard a few songs.
And I don't want people to start pumping this narrative.
Okay.
That she is a culture vulture or culturally appropriating something as a fucking 17-year-old.
All right. Pause real quick on that.
Mm.
So I want to say how I got caught up with her. I'm not caught up into the music. I've heard recently probably 4 songs, and it seems probably like what I would expect. Now, of that expectation, I would have to say those songs are pretty dope, right? How I first caught wind of her, I want to say it was either a Genius feature on their YouTube channel.
Who the fuck is it? You talking about Jizza?
No, Genius, the rap Genius.
He said Jizza.
I know what he said.
Holy shit.
So I saw that and I was like, okay, who's this chick? I didn't click on it, right? Because I want to see rappers on Rap Genius, right? I mean on Genius. Not because I got to beef with anybody else. I just want to. That's my go-to.
You were looking for the verses and words.
I'm looking for verses to artists that I don't know yet, so that way it helps me get me into it. That's when I'm music hunting.
Huh.
That's how I get into it. Give me something. Don't give me a rap verse. Give me something else, right?
Carry on.
So then she shows up on Hot Ones. I'm like,
I saw that.
I watch Hot Ones, and I did not click on it because at this point I had seen interviews coming down, and everybody's touting this chick. And I'm just like...
So she was on a press run?
I don't know if it was intentional, but her press...
the algorithm just got you?
It just keeps getting me. And I've not looked for this chick. So now I feel like I'm being targeted for it. And I'm like, I'm going to keep ignoring it.
Billie Eilish,
right.
Billie Eilish.
So now
Billie
I'm seeing some people, like, a couple memes or a couple Instagram posts and Twitter posts like, yo, this emo chick this, emo chick that. So I'm like, okay, so that's the thing. Here's this new emo chick that everybody's
she's really
push.
not emo. But
Just hold on, let me get there. So I'm like, now I'm definitely not listening to this because
right.
I don't want that in my life right now, right?
Right.
So, I think I'm on 28th, 27th between 6th and 5th or 7th and 6th, right? Or wherever Barcade is at in that area. So I'm in there. One song comes on. I didn't hear the beginning. I heard the middle. I'm like, damn, it's kind of tough. Then I got back into my conversation. Another song comes on. I'm just bopping my head. I'm like, yo, this is kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
Another song comes on. Yo, this is fire too. I pulled out the app to try to see who it was. I don't get it. I don't get enough. No, I didn't get enough. It was going off.
Okay.
DJ,
Plus the noise around you and whatnot.
Right. So I'm like, man, what's going on? So now I'm waiting on Hot Ones content. I forget who it was, but there was 2 episodes that was out. I wasn't really feeling it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, it's not the episode. It's not the show. It's the person that they had on. I might have had some inflated expectations that their stuff would be good.
By the way, I trust Hot Ones so much.
Yeah.
That I click on it, even if it's not someone I know.
Yeah, no, same here.
Okay. That's how I first saw Billie Eilish.
Same here.
Double back to this conversation about Hot Ones. I don't know what the fuck Hot Ones
is.
We will get into that later.
We'll clue you in.
Sure.
Yeah, and you have a lot of content to binge. So
oh yeah, it's
trust me,
binge-worthy.
it's good.
We'll talk.
Good.
So now I got nothing to watch. I have everything to watch, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
I got nothing to watch. I'm disappointed with these last 2 Hot Ones episodes. So I refresh my page. Billie Eilish shows up again. I said, you know what? Let's watch it.
No, that's the algorithm, my nigga.
Dope. What she was saying, what I was feeling from her.
Yeah.
I was like, just.
I enjoyed the episode.
I enjoyed the episode. I'm like, she's cool.
No smoke.
I'm still not going to the music.
Yeah.
I went and watched one of her interviews somewhere else. I think it was like Conan or somebody. She's on one of these shows. I like the energy. I like the vibe. Then I think was she on SNL? No.
I think she may have been on SNL.
I don't see why. I think she was
on something.
I saw something with her the other day.
And I saw the performance.
Yeah.
I saw a performance. And I'm like, okay.
I think she did a skit, maybe?
And I'm like, okay. All right, cool. Then autoplay happened. Autoplay played a song. I'm like, oh, this is a song that I pulled out the app for.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is her music. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I let it go. She won a couple Grammys. I was like, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's go to YouTube real quick.
Yeah.
Play 3 more songs because I played the one song again. So it's really 4, but I played 3 new ones that I didn't hear from her. And I'm like, oh, okay, I understand. I don't see the 6 Grammys yet, but I'm talking from a small sample.
Right.
But cool. All right. So I'm on board. I'm not all the way there, but I'm on board.
Okay. Now, I first ran across her.
Mm-hmm.
Tawan played a song at the crib. Played a few songs. It was dope. All right, cool. We're in there. I didn't really notice the name of the. I don't know. It was a dope song.
Right.
It was good. Then the Hot Ones episode.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. It's cool. Then I went and listened to one or two of the songs. I was like, she's all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's not my thing.
Right,
I wouldn't say it is my thing. Like, I rock with it, you know?
Yeah.
And just now, where Tawan was like, you rock with Billie Eilish. I was like, who? She's not that.
Yeah.
She's not in my brain yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so my offhanded comment about her being a culture vulture was about when I saw her on the episode of Hot Ones, she was dripping. Right? She did that streetwear drip shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I saw just now in the video,
more drip,
is more drip.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
that
fam,
video is dope though.
Video's dope. Like, fam, I see Justin Bieber. And again, this is not. I'm not digging into the girl, so it's just a little white girl in our culture. And Tawan has a valid point. What the fuck else is a 17-year-old supposed to do? You're absolutely right.
And today's climate, yeah. What else?
Me, 10 years ago, would not have given a fuck about this. But as I embark on my journey to learn about Black America and the plight of the black man and how this shit just keeps on going, I'm forced to think about these things. Like, I get it. Our culture is fucking cool. And everybody else gets it because they want to be a part of our culture. And I get it. Like, yo, this was the point. To get to what we do as black people becomes the norm. And not only we not fucking penalized for it, but it's accepted. Like, we're there.
And they give us our props openly.
Right. But the problem is, I'm seeing this little white girl, as dope as she is, being dope. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fam, say something. Because we're still fighting to be accepted today.
Right.
So you ain't going to just put on some drip and run away. Nah, put on some drip, acknowledge why it's called drip, and then sing your fucking song. And I don't know, maybe she's done it, maybe she don't.
Right.
There's people out there who are like, you're looking too much into it. She's just a fucking teenager. She's going to spend her money. This is what's cool now. Yeah, but so is fucking Justin Bieber. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
The same Justin Bieber that's making racist ass jokes, by the way.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So I'm not too, and this is completely outside of her music, which is dope. But this is just what I saw from face value. Right. Maybe if I get to learn her more, where she's from, I don't know that was where my offhanded comment about culture vultures came from.
Right, and so for me with her, again, another thing, because I did come across a little clip where it made me standoffish with her. But in terms of her, it didn't register to me because the way that it is happening today. I mean, look what we did today. The sneaker run, right? Who do you think made sneakers popping like this?
That's my point.
Right? Like we know this. Hip hop runs the world. We've been saying this for quite a while. When rock ruled the world, who started rock? There's people out there at the end of rock, when I don't mean the end, but like the last time rock was popping, they don't know that black people started
rock and roll.
They don't know that, right? Right now, this is a hip hop world. This is a hip hop world, and we know why and how it is what it is.
Machine Gun Kelly's coming for it.
The stuff that is out there and popping, right? Eminem didn't rock like that. So you can't say, well, Eminem got on and everybody's following him. No.
Whoa.
Hold on.
I can
hold on.
I can argue that, but carry on. Carry on.
I don't care about exposure. Eminem didn't really dress like how he dressed. You get what I'm saying? Poor. He was just saying he didn't dress how he dressed. Even when he got on, he didn't dress how he dressed.
Still doesn't.
So exactly. So he might have exposed him to another side, but we know we are the source. That's our whole thing. I don't see that from her per se, but I also don't see it for those kids because that's just life.
Okay.
That's just life now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like your SEO dude, your CEO dude coming through with sneakers 30 times better than mine.
That's what made it okay for me to wear Jordans to work, because the VP of retail used to wear fucking Jordans.
All right. So I hear both.
Hold on, one more thing. Sorry, I hate to do this. Where she gonna rock out, I'll let her rock out. She was not on my radar for this. She won't be on my radar about this until she does what Justin has done, Justin Bieber, maybe even Justin Timberlake, right? With Miley Cyrus is done, and one other person, Post Malone. If she does what any of those people I just named has done, then she's off the list.
Okay, so I need to know what they did that she...
One way or another, they spoke bad about hip-hop and all its origins and all that stuff.
All right, okay. So...
And the people that go with it.
Gotcha.
And one way or another.
Got you. So I'm a put my 2 cents in.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have already pretty much described her. She's basically 18 going on 19 now, because she was, when I first got hip to who she was 17. She's a teenager in a hip hop world. Okay?
Yep.
Teenager.
Yep.
That just so happens to know how to sing and sing very well.
Mm-hmm.
But for the record, she's a pop star. She's a pop artist, right?
Whoa. No, because
Okay.
that's not something that she considers herself.
Of course not, because she's goth.
Well,
Goth
no.
never wants to be considered pop.
No, she looks, she dresses very dark, but technically she's not goth.
Okay.
So what genre is she? What would she say?
What they're categorizing her as alternative.
Not they, she. What would she?
She doesn't categorize herself.
She's just making music.
She's making music.
That Kanye
Okay.
stuff.
All right. So
Alternative what? Rock?
No.
no, she's with alternative
music.
Okay.
alternative music.
Okay.
That odd eerie music.
Sure.
So, now, why I felt like I needed to dispel many people's, and it was something that I said, I saw on Instagram where, and it wasn't just one, it was a friend of ours, and he has his opinion. He's very opinionated. Nonetheless, it was something he said that was very relative to Billie Eilish and cultural appropriation. And I get it. Listen, I get it when it's Eminem putting on a pair of fucking Air Jordans and now him getting a fucking deal with a pair of fucking Air Jordans that says Eminem on it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck out of here.
I don't see it there either.
Appropriation is about acknowledgement.
Absolutely.
I think Eminem has acknowledged the culture.
He's never not.
Listen, I get Eminem putting on acknowledging the culture, but what makes him any different from now? Why is it that Eminem early in his career gets a Jordan sneaker? How long did it take for somebody like Drake? Now, why did it take when black people are 90% of the buyers of your fucking sneaker?
Yep.
But
that's not a knock to Eminem.
It's not a knock to
That's
Eminem
just the way,
per se. But my question is, so Eminem gets a pass for adopting this culture because he's from fucking Detroit, 8 Mile Detroit?
No, he doesn't get a pass. He paid his dues.
Paid his dues. When he started, he looked just like every other fucking white person
but that's okay. But he could spit.
Yes,
and that was the point of the game.
And she can sing. So that is my point to her.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
However, Eminem has surrounded himself in the culture. Eminem has given to the culture.
Listen,
he's given opportunities to others in the culture.
Right, but that is a lot to put on somebody that has only been in existence.
That's what I said. Your point is valid.
Yeah,
she's a 17-year-old. But
right.
What I'm saying is, absolutely, she's a 17-year-old. But let's not let her just walk out the door.
Well,
let us. Somebody somewhere needs to let her know what you think is cool today. People are still being punished for that.
Right. But
And you need to, one, I'm not asking her to make a Twitter post saying, just acknowledge, because you know what she's in danger of becoming? What's the name of the actor who plays Rey?
Rey.
In Star Wars.
That's this girl. No, that's Boyer is the other one.
Did you see that fuck shit that she said about privilege?
I did. I missed it.
You need to go look at that.
Okay.
Because the gist of the conversation was because they were doing a press tour together. The guy that plays Finn.
Boyer.
Yeah. And then the girl that plays Rey.
Daisy Ridley.
They were doing a press tour together, and the interviewer asked some dumbass question.
Right.
And pretty much she refused to acknowledge her privilege as a white person. And she was saying, that the way she arrived at where she is in her career, you could all agree this is a pinnacle. This is Star Wars. This is Disney. Is through hard work, and this is that's not this dude's story. He came from poverty. He's had to fight through racism. He's had to break into an industry. She literally had absolutely none of that. She just showed up as white with a dream, and she refused to acknowledge her privilege. You get what I'm saying?
Right, but I feel like this is the same Kanye West argument that we talked about in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can always talk about what white people are privileged to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but right now, and let's talk about John Boyega and Daisy Ridley. Both of them had no fucking a resume.
Right.
Both of them started at the same time, basically with Star Wars, and both of them equally worked hard, and both of
not
them
equally. Nope. There you go. Not equally. Fam, there's nothing equal about a black person in this country with the same exact credentials as the white person in this country.
But that's not what I'm saying. That's
you
not
just
what I'm
said
saying.
Equally.
No, they both
You said they work hard equally.
No, I said they both worked hard equally in their respective fields. Which is acting. And they are both now, I don't look at Daisy Ridley any different than I look at John Boyega. So you think
they both had to put in the same effort?
In acting,
yes. My bad.
Because she has not been casted in any other fucking role in Hollywood.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think they had the same resistance?
I can't say that. I can't say
no,
that.
No, you can't because they didn't.
It's possible that, she probably, but I can't.
Fam, he's a black man.
Yes, he is a black man that has had more Hollywood roles than Daisy fucking Ridley.
Exactly.
So my point is, where is the argument if somebody decides to say, and this is, and I'm
Son,
not,
hang on. Do you think someone's going to shoot Billy Ray Cyrus for wearing a fucking hoodie to buy Snickers?
Absolutely not. But
exactly. That is the point right there.
But that is another argument.
That is not another argument.
Listen, we're going to keep this
That's
where
the same argument.
No. We're keeping this where it is. We're talking about two pieces since you brought up Daisy Ridley and you brought up John Boyega. Both of them are the same, artistically the same.
No.
Artistically.
No, they're
they
not.
are not culturally.
One's male, one's a female. It still can't be the same.
They are not culturally the same. They are both artistically the same because one is black and male and one is white and female. They have both come up in the same genre, not even the same genre, in the same field of work. They are both actors, and both of them put the same amount of. Well, I will say this. I feel like John Boyega worked way more harder because there's only one other fucking movie that she starred in other than Star Wars since Star Wars. John Boyega has three or four, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So I mean, if you work hard, what have you said yourself? You work hard, you get results. You don't work hard, you don't get results.
But that doesn't mean your struggle wasn't harder.
Right. Now we're going to go into culture and the struggle. Okay? Let's be clear. I don't give a fuck what Billie Eilish is wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck what the next man is out there wearing because I have personally taken a stance to not wear not a one of those Gucci, Louis, Polo fuck boys on my body.
Why?
Because I at this point in time, I am spending too much money for somebody that is not investing in me.
Sure. Is Billie Eilish invested in you?
She ain't putting out clothes.
She's putting out music.
So
they don't listen to her music.
No, but because I am a person that listens to music, until I decide that she is not doing anything for me to listen to her, no more than Kanye West is doing anything for me to listen to him. And that Jay-Z conversation that we also gonna have on here, and that Puff Daddy, that Diddy conversation about black excellence, we gonna have that conversation up here. Because fuck black excellence, and I'm saying it. Because black excellence is smoke and fucking mirrors.
Are you aware of the project that I'm doing for my photography?
No, I'm not.
That's what it's called, Black Excellence.
But I am sure.
I know. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
And because I know you,
right?
I am sure.
I largely share that opinion with you.
The understanding of black excellence that you expel on and you expand on, and the idea of black excellence that this motherfucker is doing every time he spews it. Listen, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. When a motherfucker can get on a fucking on anybody's platform, and this ain't not to deviate from Billie Eilish. When this nigga, let me not say that. When this king, when this king can get on somebody's platform and start talking, and listen, don't get it twisted. I love Puff Daddy, but when you talking about black excellence and lifting up black people, I'm all for it. But when we're talking business, and the fact that almost each and every black person that you had signed to your company from the start of Bad Boy has a problem with their business and the business that was taken or the lack thereof from them and ended up in your back pocket and in your wallet and in your account, Nick King, stop talking to me about black excellence.
Got it.
Get your past correct. And then we can talk about black excellence. Okay. So that's my spiel for black excellence right now. Okay. As far as Billie Eilish is concerned. All right. This is a young singer that puts out good music.
Right.
And if she so chooses, like, I can't be mad at the white boy that chooses to wear Supreme.
Sure.
And Palace and fucking underrated. Is underrated?
Pyramids.
Well, not even pyramids, but all of that
streetwear
and that off-white, all that off-white drip, what we call it. In which she doesn't. I haven't once heard her use that term.
Me neither.
But you're out there wearing this stuff as a young white kid, because they're and listen, we went to Adidas today, and I saw a couple of white kids out there
Absolutely.
on that, and they had it on too.
Absolutely.
Like,
so I'm not going to single her out because she's making music.
That's just the way. That's just where we at today.
Yeah, and it's.
To me,
it's black people today. Are still looking for reparation. You're supposed to take your reparation. If you don't want to take reparation, then have a fucking seat.
It gets very, very murky, these conversations. So let me see if I could do this disposition here. So Eminem, I don't feel like he's a cultural vulture.
Absolutely, and I don't think so either.
Right. I think we all agree here because he has provided for the culture. Right?
Right.
He lives the culture.
Right.
Justin Bieber, I think he is a culture vulture.
I think he's a scumbag.
Because not only did he embed himself in the culture, which is okay, right? There's no colors to this culture, right? But he's behind closed doors making racist jokes.
No, he's overtly. Let me just stop you there. He's overtly on film saying the N-word.
Yeah. So
singing it.
So to me, he's using the culture to get ahead.
Absolutely.
That's a culture vulture.
Absolutely.
Right? DJ Khaled. You would want to call him a culture vulture, but the energy he gives seems, and everyone else says, this is positive energy. He's just happy to be in the culture.
Right.
He could have ended up in pop and still be DJ Khaled.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But he ended up in hip hop.
Yep.
I don't see him as a culture vulture.
Gotcha.
I don't see Billie Eilish as a culture vulture. What I'm saying is, how are we sending her out in the world? Because streetwear today did not come from a place of privilege. Streetwear came today from the hip hop culture and the drug dealers. And
poverty.
And poverty.
Okay.
And poverty.
Black
and
poverty.
You didn't
Black poverty. Yeah.
You didn't all year round, you didn't have money to eat, but that one little bit of something that your parents had, they got you some nice sneakers.
Right.
That was how we got by.
Okay.
My kid ain't never had nothing nice, but once a year I can get him some J's.
Right.
That's streetwear, right? And you wear those J's, and you wear that one low hoodie. You wear that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And now that has become popular, because let's not put the Japanese under the radar here. They literally lifted that culture from hip hop, and no one accuses them of being culture vultures.
Absolutely not.
Different conversation. I don't care to have.
Even with dancing,
because Japanese,
and
by and large, I think
Asian
Japanese and Asian people don't have an identity because they're not happy about who they are. So they're either trying to be
I won't say
super
that.
urban.
They have an identity.
Son, they're either trying to be super urban or they want to be white.
Can I stop you there? They have. I feel like just to spin on what you're saying. I feel like they have now developed an identity.
Yeah, because they're a fucking superpower now.
Right, and that identity pulls directly from the hip hop culture.
Now this is a
This
is a very ignorant conversation for me to be having. It's a glance over a very complex thing.
Okay,
but I'm just trying to make the point.
Right.
I'm just saying, before we send her out the fucking door, yo, Trayvon Martin was shot because of a hoodie.
Yeah.
Trayvon Martin wasn't shot because, yo, this is drip. I got that new Gucci hoodie on. Like, yo, we can't even... You understand that you're wearing something with pride and privilege that someone else today can't do. She can walk down the street in her neon pink drip hoodie. No one will stop her. If we walk down the street in our black hoodie, NYPD is going to pull up on you.
It ain't got to be black.
And
you understand? That's all I'm saying.
I will put a spin on that.
Fam, you can't... Don't take something away that is something of a trophy for us. We like drip because you work hard and you buy something nice for yourself.
Right.
And two, fam, that shit ain't always easy. Because the minute you see somebody with drip, you don't assume that this kid worked at McDonald's flipping burgers for fucking 2 months so he can afford some fucking Supreme box leather t-shirt. You assume he's a drug dealer. But when she steps out the door, it don't matter if I know Billie Eilish or not, no one assumes anything of that of her.
Right.
And that's the culture shit. Like, yo, if you're going to do it, at least tell me that you understand the complexities of it.
I think I think for me, Snow, do you have a...
I don't know if that's... It's hard to say the word fair.
I feel it's not fair for her, but carry on.
Well, when I'm saying her, I'm talking about that entire generation right there, right? When she's born in 2001.
2001.
Like, hip hop is the world at the year 2001.
Sure.
The last of the rock being on top was that
early 90s.
You could look
early 90s. The last time rock was even a question.
You could look at Super Bowl. You could look at Super Bowl performances and video games, right? Whether commercials or the title music, and tell what was what, right?
Right.
I don't think it's fair to put that on Billie.
Absolutely not.
And I really don't.
I don't disagree.
I feel like she's doing what kids do of any color, race, or creed. Like, yo, what's going on outside my window? And because it's now she doesn't really have to watch the internet. It's literally around her. Like, she's grown up like in a one way she grew up like she grew up with us.
She went
in terms of clothing,
right? And she went to school and saw the next man wearing a hoodie. She didn't say, "Oh shit, I shouldn't put this on because Trayvon Martin got shot in it.
The hoodie thing.
She's wearing it because everybody in her fucking school is wearing it.
My mother.
She's fresh. She's still in high school. But now she's not.
But even before then, like even when we was coming up, son, the world had hoodies.
Okay.
Hoodies is not a new thing. Hoodie didn't start with Trayvon. I was told, yo, when you out there, take your hoodie off.
Yep.
When you step in the dark and you don't need the hoodie on,
before Trayvon
take your hoodie
was
like,
shot.
yo, do you really need to go out with that hoodie?
Yep.
Yo, I don't want to buy you this hoodie. Every time my hoodie was being questioned, back in the 90s, even the late earlys,
it was a safety thing.
was about safety. And I don't think that we should put that type of thing on her because it's not, it's a hoodie.
But it still exists today.
No, it exists that by far. Where I would get on her was like if she was on TV and saying like, oh, you know, these guys with hoodies came across the street, so I crossed the street. And then we find out it was some color thing with that. And then it ended up being some dudes just
I understand that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it ended up being
understand
some
that
dudes
point.
in drip.
Now.
Like and hold on. Because when we get at her, one, she looks like, oh, this is the ticket to have this argument with. And I've yet to see anything that hasn't proven what us as black people want. Yo, at today, you can't deny us.
Sure.
It's all on film.
Sure.
Everything is...
It's everywhere.
You can...
And this was the point all along.
You can fight back with it, but at this point, you look ignorant. Like, you can come... Like, when we used to tell people in the 90s and the 80s, yo, the police are beating us up.
Yeah.
They're beating us up. We're not doing anything. Yes, there's crime in our neighborhoods. There are people that are doing things in our neighborhoods that are probably deserving of it morally, right? But legally,
or it's just a subset of poverty.
But legally, you're not supposed to do it, but y'all do it. And you know what we're doing? We're letting it rock. It's when y'all start doing it to the people that's not doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we have the problem.
Right.
Shut up. You're not with that. We've seen other people get that treatment better. We've shown footage of it, Rodney King. And they still's like, nah, it didn't happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So today, there's enough evidence to say like, yo, we hit. To the point to where I feel like people should just be like, oh, we already know these black people gonna come in here and say we were the first to do this. We boycotted the Grammys.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people should be annoyed, and that tells me that they know.
Right.
And with that, and I feel like they are. And with that, she is free to mix goth with hip hop,
which should be a freedom.
which is a freedom because guess who else is doing it? Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
He just used brighter colors with the chokers and all that other stuff, and with the wild colored hair. So for me, with her, and she wore, I think I seen it with some, I don't know if they were dunks or something. I saw those and I was just like, I expect that.
Dunks are hype beat shit now.
You know,
they're back.
They're back.
Right.
They're back.
So I
crazy,
I expect it.
So I glanced over the culture vulture shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I'm afraid of, I'm not saying she's malicious in any way.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm afraid of is because she doesn't know. She's a kid. She shouldn't have to know. I agree with your point.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe no one sits her down and gives her the scope of the complexity. She ends up sounding like the girl Daisy from Star Wars.
Well,
you get what I mean?
I get that.
And it's not saying that
I would say let her get there, and then we just correct her without shooting her down.
Well, that's the problem, because there's so many people. When you get to that point, that stature, and you have that platform, I think it's expected of you to understand most things around you.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Right.
And I know people gonna throw the money.
It may be unfair for her because she's 17, but this girl Daisy, not acceptable.
She's late. She's late.
She's
20s.
an adult.
Yeah.
Not only she's adult, but she's an adult working with an African American. Fam, I walk through my job no matter where I work in my career, and I know how to look at white women. Do you understand what I just said?
Yeah.
Are you guys processing what I just said?
Yeah.
I look at white women differently in a professional setting than any other woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't look at a white woman with my mute face. You guys know me.
Yeah.
Can you tell when I'm serious or joking or angry or sad?
Right.
I have the same fucking face for everything.
Right.
Okay.
But when I see a white woman, it's a pseudo smile. Hey,
Code switch.
Everything's okay. And I need to do that because I need to prove that I am not a fucking threat.
And you're not a gorilla.
I need to make them feel comfortable.
And you're not a gorilla.
Exactly. So for somebody like Daisy, I would assume that if you're a decent person, you go back and say, oh, I'm working with an African American. How do I not step on toes?
Okay.
How can I understand him a little better?
So,
But not even. You just completely oblivious to everything.
so
You get what I mean?
I want to. I feel like this entire conversation gets pulled into the realm of, and dare I say, racism. All right, because I think racism becomes the root of. It's like racism
Or
before
prejudice,
money,
whichever
or
one, because there's
they're all tied.
I would use prejudice.
They're
in this
all
particular
tied
case.
into.
Yeah.
They're all tied into a type of racism.
Sure.
So, I'm going to start this off. Well, I'll begin this with a brief story. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Tawan. Hi, I'm Tawan. Obviously. This is after I graduated high school, and I was going for a job. Myrtle Avenue. Myrtle between Washington and whatever. So after I exit this job site, I'm walking up Washington to, I want to say maybe the J train, something like that. And no, I was walking to DeKalb because I was going to take my mom still worked for the hospital, Brooklyn Hospital. So I'm walking. I have a book bag on. I look like your typical young man. A person could assume that I was Spanish, like, Puerto Rican, whatever. But clearly
You got that Soul Glow curly drip going.
That Soul Glow drip. The curly hair drip. Nonetheless, Raul
Sanchez.
So, I'm walking, and you guys, I'm sure, are all familiar from then. This is 1994, 95.
Yeah.
And
We
now,
had to taper off. Yeah.
you already know
we had to taper off.
who lives in that neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
It's just, this is not, what they call it, not Fort Greene. This is what they call, it's not Fort Greene.
It's
They
Clinton.
call it Clinton Hill.
Yeah, it's Clinton.
Don't call it Fort Greene.
Mm-hmm.
Clinton Hill. So there's a white woman walking down the block towards me. It's like the block is kind of on a hill. It's kind of like got like a big ass church, bunch of fucking shit, look like a school, whatever. And this was my first in 18, 19 years, my first experience with, I would consider, racism. The lady, as she approached, as she walked, she clutched her shoulder bag. It's like, so here like I have a shoulder bag on. She took both hands and she clutched her bag as she walked past me.
Doesn't even sound foreign to me. It's happened to me too.
So
it happened to me wearing a suit.
Now it was baffling to me, and this is in 1994.
Because you're not aware of who you're supposed to be. You just know who you are.
In part, but it was one baffling to me is because I had never experienced outward racism towards a black person before, much less me. So now I see it, and I looked in her eye and I saw terror. She was terrified of me. And I had to ask that question. That was the $1 million question that stuck with me the entire day.
Why?
What the fuck did she see that terrorized her that much, that a young man coming from a fucking job interview, could bring on her at that point in time.
I tell you what she saw. Marketing.
Okay. I can only, and to this day, after having gone over it in my mind for as much as I have to this point, because I still can't figure out why she did what she did.
Marketing.
It's not you, though.
Except for ignorance.
Marketing.
Yeah.
It's marketing.
Ignorance. Listen.
Son, ignorance.
At the same time, hold on. And please don't lose what you about to say. Son, let's not forget one important thing. New York City because I say New York City died. The New York City that everybody know died in 1996, right? Maybe 97, right?
You talking about the help rape? No one looked out the window.
All that shit, right?
Yeah.
I'd say it died sooner.
There was still some weird shit going on up in. I would say the end of it was at 96, 97. Then we got the blood crip thing, and that's a whole other situation.
Right.
So you got to remember, by 94, 95, right?
Mm-hmm.
We still had red and blue tops on the ground. So this person that's in that neighborhood, it's still seeing the cleanup. They're the pioneers of the gentrification. You were talking Clinton Hill. We're talking Clinton.
I can't say that.
We're talking Clinton. I lived in the sty, bro. We're talking Clinton Hills. They got their ass whipped. Them people in Clinton Hills got their ass whipped. It was not 100% safe.
All right, so I'm gonna take it slightly differently. I grew up in the late 70s, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You old boy.
Yeah, I am.
Look good though.
Yeah, of course. So in these times, well, in the 70s, in the mid 70s to the early 70s, there was what we call a mass exodus of white people to what we would consider now the outskirts of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Williamsburg, Clinton Hill, Myrtle Avenue, Sheepshead Bay, all of those parts. So because it wasn't safe, or what they felt, it wasn't safe.
Fam, it wasn't safe, period.
Living in
Bed-Stuy,
Crown Heights. The only persons that
Clinton
stuck
Hill
around,
wasn't safe either, though.
Clinton Hill became safe when they separated, when there was a partition between Clinton Hill and Fort Greene. Okay, once DeKalb Avenue, what is that other Gates and Green was still a problem. Yeah, but anything DeKalb and back towards Myrtle Avenue, and then to Park Avenue, so on and so forth. Though that was the safe haven. So mind you,
but there's no wall to protecting them for Bed-Stuy. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But at that time, and this is me knowing because I hung out in Bed-Stuy.
Understood.
So where we hung out was Fulton Avenue.
Of course.
Bedford Avenue.
Right. But Fulton and Bedford cross.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But that's where we hung out at. Right. Where the quote unquote individuals that were not known to let you pass. Right. So this is where I'm walking is the safe haven. Yeah. Is what I'm saying. Right. So this happened to me in a safe haven. But the point that I was making about bringing this up was there is a misconception about black people. And there is one of the misconceptions that happened to be fatal was that black people are up to no good, whether they're wearing hoodies, because the term hoodie or the term hoodlum comes from individuals wearing hoodies in the hood. It was a slang term. Okay? So now that is hoodie, to wear a hoodie or a shirt with a hood was what young people were doing in the hood that may not have been the popular thing to do in the hood while wearing hoodies. So now that's where it becomes associated with by being a hoodlum. So now moving forward, now everybody has this understanding, or what we would consider white people have this understanding of, well, when you see somebody wearing a hoodie, you better move. Ignorance, that's what it is. It's ignorance, because the assumption that somebody is wearing a hood, now taking it to the Trayvon thing, the assumption that somebody is wearing a hood is up to no good is not good. Because the person that shot Trayvon Martin is as ignorant as they come.
He probably would have shot him if he had a hoodie on or not.
He would have shot him if he was wearing a T-shirt.
Yep. Yeah. So the thing I like to, is just balance, right?
Right.
And ignorance is not the problem.
I think ignorance is the root of it, but
ignorance is
attributed to
it's just an opposite
education.
of not being educated, right? Ignorance is not always a bad thing. Not always a bad thing.
Agreed.
There are, like anything else, there are people to the far left and there are people to the far right. Most people,
we call them Democrats and Republicans.
I don't even want to bring that dumb shit into but most people are somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have your Trump supporters or you'll have your Black Panthers. I don't know.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, and most people are in the middle and they are very heavily impressionable. That's what ignorance is. It's not so much that you want to not like black people. But I feel like there's a lot of white people, that in the 80s and 90s and 2000s that were ignorant but weren't overtly racist.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could, there are things we do as black people that are ignorant and can be categorized as racist.
Absolutely.
Because we don't know any better. I can tell when a black person I'm talking to just doesn't have white friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's clear as day to see. And it hurts because fam, and I'm not saying all white people black, just not everyone's out here to hurt you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people by and large are good. But you can be influenced from where you get your news and whatever. And the conversation kind of shifts when there are things we do,
right, that
when you tell me about it, it's as good as gospel because you heard from Snow.
Right.
Because when Snow tells you something, it's as good as gospel. Because
like
Snow heard from his man at work.
Right.
And that dude knows his shit, so it's as good as gospel.
Right.
Right? That's okay. So somebody somewhere told me that white people don't lotion their legs. Or they don't wash their legs when they take showers.
Stupid.
And I'm just like...
That's stupid.
This is a conversation? And there are some white people that go, wait, what? I'm supposed to wash my legs? And it was like, and then there's like, what? And then there are other white people that's like, why would you not wash your legs?
Right.
You get what I mean?
Right.
But the way black people perceive this is so fucking, they're just like, wow.
Now me?
These people are so strange. Like, fam,
yeah.
Why don't you just meet or have a white friend be like, yo, do you wash? But it doesn't mean all white people.
And fam, and you know what's funny, right? This is so perfect that you're saying that because you can look this up. Through Instagram, Twitter, and a little bit of Facebook, there is these what I call meme posts, right? Meme topics is what I like to call it. It's not an official term. Don't look it up. Where people are cutting a joke and conversations are happening under it, and that's the thing. Like, yo, meanwhile, dudes out here not washing below their knees,
right?
And this has nothing to do with white people.
Yeah,
this is about black people.
Yeah. Yeah,
but you still got people in the world thinking that white people don't wash,
right? And this is something so simple, so silly,
right?
But think about that lady that looked at you and saw terror. She don't know you.
Marketing,
yeah.
But somebody somewhere told her, "Yo, when you see one of them motherfuckers, hold on to your purse."
But that's
because somebody somewhere told them, "Hold on to your bag," because it is possible that somebody somewhere got their bag snatched by a dude that happened to be black. But there's still dudes that happen to be white that snatch bags.
Right.
But guess what? This is still America.
And
so no one's saying when you see a man, hold on to your purse. No. But the point is,
that's what they should say.
That's what they should say. Yeah,
and we're gonna take it wrong anyway because we know what's on us.
Right. But the point is ignorance. And ignorance is not as heavy as I think a lot of people think it is. Son, people just don't know. You know what I mean? Or you're not in the right circles to open that conversation to know. What do we say about Lil Wayne? He don't give a fuck about other music. Well, like, son, that's a form of ignorance.
Right.
I don't need to know.
So ignorance, by definition, is the absence of knowledge, absence of information.
Sure.
So,
No, that's ignorant.
A person that doesn't know, like the lady, she didn't know me. She didn't know what I was, why I was there. The fact that I was there, was her reason for her terror. I could assume.
Sure.
I could assume that maybe a black person stole her bag before.
Sure.
It
or you could assume that she really is the devil.
Right.
Or you could assume that she's been robbed before, period, by a man.
And she's got trauma.
By a man. Yes, she's
trauma.
traumatized. There is a whole lot of scenarios
Yep.
that a person willing to understand why another person would clutch their bag can delve into just for the understanding of that moment. The point in all of this that I'm talking about is everything leads to something. So why did I say this and try and tailor this to the Billie Eilish conversation? Is I don't know her parents.
Mm-hmm.
Until a few weeks ago. I would say I didn't quite know where the fuck she lived.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I knew she didn't live in a black neighborhood, but I knew she wasn't exposed to black culture.
Nay, does it really matter?
And it doesn't matter.
Right.
And what she does, and this is one thing that I can say about millennials.
You mean the Gen Zs? Because I'm a millennial.
Gen Z.
because we're millennials.
I know, but man, millennials. I will expand.
Okay, the younger end of the spectrum.
Yes.
Okay.
Are far more accepting and far more resilient to the racist rhetoric and bullshit.
Yeah.
That
it's a good thing.
My generation.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the end of the prior.
Yeah.
I miss millennial by about
because
2
I think
years.
the newer generation, by and large, only care about themselves.
Well,
like I like you're not phasing me, so I'm not really worried about your agenda.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
like I know who I am, so you could never tell me about who you think I am.
And so there's one thing that I can say about living in this neighborhood. It's a lot actually, but one thing I can say is when I walk up that block and I go and I look and I drive past that block that your wife partakes in, I see the diversity.
Yes. Her school's very diverse. Very diverse.
The diversity
is dope to see.
Of children that go to that school and coexist.
Why you're bang on is because you know she's the school therapist.
Right.
And she struggles with a lot of parents because there's a large disconnect between the parents and their agenda and the kids who are just like, I don't fucking care.
Son.
And this is why I always say, like, yo, son, racism we'll be out of here pretty soon.
Yeah, it won't take too long.
Because these fucking kids don't care.
And that was my thing about not trying to put that on her because
you guys got a point.
It's absolutely, it doesn't matter.
You have a point.
To her,
and I love, like, yo, for what happened to me, bro, coming up, first off, my first form of racism, I got jumped by black kids. Like, black. In Jamaica, Queens.
Sure.
Trying to get free lunch. Actually, I had the free lunch already. My mom sent me outside to play with everybody else. I'm thinking it's cool.
So racism didn't come from the white man.
It ain't come from the white man.
That they told you it would come from.
I'm light skinned.
No, it came from the same people that came up just as hard as I did.
I'm light skinned. At the time, I had the Eddie Murphy ponytail. My hair was a little curly.
You should do that again.
I should do it again, but I'm not because I look weird with this balding spot in my head, right? So I got that going on. My eyes used to be fire back then. And I'm saying that because I saw pictures of me. I'm like, whoa, my eyes were way better.
Your eyes were brighter when you were in high school. Is that a thing?
Yes, it is a thing.
It happens.
It happens.
Okay.
But my eyes were even brighter than that.
Listen,
and the colors that happen.
In case you guys are wondering, this man has hazel eyes.
Are they hazel or blue?
They change to gray.
Gray.
They change to green. And sometimes they're red and sometimes they're brown.
Fuck this man.
Yeah, fuck him.
I always wanted hazel eyes. I just wasn't putting
We'll take it back
contacts.
to 2004. Let's go over there
What?
with contact.
Get the
Contacts
Son.
So I'm out there and they're playing you can't touch the tar because it's a jungle gym type thing. So you can't touch the tar is lava and they're playing tag. Right? One of my favorite things to play. Okay, cool. So now I can't play with them. Why? Because you white. Son. Nigga, what?
That sounds like wild. Yeah.
So I'm out here rumbling with
That sounds
15
about
kids.
right. That sounds about right.
So
though.
my first example that was
And I got it too.
fuck racism. That was my first example of it right there. I'm black, but you telling me I'm not. You want to show up to my family dinners? You want to see my brother I'm 3 years older than? You want to see my mom's father and my mom's mom?
You gonna get these black hands though.
Son, you gonna get this work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's tough.
So, and then later, I got hit with some situations again. We had a Prospect Park. This is I don't remember what grade it is, but I'm in elementary school. Truancy is not even truancy. The police in the golf carts, as I like to call it, son runs us down because he sees 30 kids. Mind you, I think the law is you need two. When you're in public, you need 2 adults for 15 kids, for 30 kids. So you need 2 adults. So you need 1 adult for every 15. I think is what it is, right?
No, 1 adult every 10. Anything after 10, anything after 13 is 2.
After 2, right? Up to another number, then you need a third one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know how it differs.
Yeah,
but I think
so
it's like
either
something
way,
like
it was
that.
like 30 of us there because we got separated from the rest of the group. So we're going through Prospect Park. Son, the police in the golf cart comes flying out of nowhere and is trying to like arrest us. Mind you, we're with teachers. He escalates it so fast that I'm not gonna say his name. Barry Sanders, the dude, gets him up off him. Now the dude's chasing him and we all booking it, right? The teacher's trying to calm us down. Like, nah, teachers, y'all rap because he came straight for us. You can't save us.
No, you are being attacked.
We're being attacked by the police.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are elementary
There's nothing
kids.
left for you to do than A, defend yourself, or B, run.
We're either 6th grade or less. Between 3rd and 6th grade. We're being attacked by the police, right? So we're scrambling. The dude hops in the vehicle and starts chasing us. Hit him with the Barry Sanders again. The vehicle tips over. He's rolling down in the vehicle, sliding down the hill, right in the vehicle.
Man.
Son, that's from the police. The people who we're being taught that when you see them, you cooperate with them. If they need help, you help them. This is what we're being told.
Yep.
You help the police. You give them the information if they're coming through asking questions for something. If there's a burning building, if there's a car accident, if there's something, you go to them, you tell them, you report to them what you saw, and be calm.
Right.
And at the same time, we're also being told of don't backtalk them because they'll fuck you up. Here, we didn't get not one opportunity to show that we've been bred to be obedient, to obey, to work with them. We didn't even get the opportunity because he ran up on us and started wilding out.
Well, I wouldn't use the term obedient or obey.
Obedient or obey
we were
is
taught to
my G. I don't care how you comply.
Comply.
It's obedience.
That's obedience.
Yeah, it is. It is, but
That's obedience, fam.
When
I don't like using the term because
you know what? You know why?
We teach dogs to be obedient,
but that's how.
And you teach civilians to be obedient as well.
Hold on.
See, your line of work.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
Bro. The way we come up with the police,
right?
and
I
how
understand.
and how they are told to work with the police is different from us. We are taught obedience like we're dogs. This is passed down racism.
Yeah.
This is passed down slavery PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
People think you can't pass down PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can. They just don't want to hear that when it comes to us.
There's a new study now there's a doctor somewhere. She's got a pretty good case that the social injustices and the institutionalized racism and the PTSD and oppression from it is in the DNA.
So you know how I didn't even know study for that. I saw it in real time. You know how I know that something like that can be passed down? I have 3 people that I know, separate people, but I'm only going to comment on the last one I met because she is our mother's age. She grew up with some type of poverty. Food wasn't in her refrigerator. So when they had to eat, bro, they had to eat because they didn't know when next time something was going to be in their refrigerator. But she grew up thinking, yo, I got to keep my fridge full. When they had money when she was a child, the fridge was full and it had to be full. The mom panicked.
Makes sense.
So you know what happened when this woman became of age? Even by herself, that fridge was full. She lost more money by food spoiling than it being eaten. And then she had kids. And I've seen it.
And they did the same shit.
And they did the same thing.
Yeah.
Son, what right now,
understood.
Maybe not so, and I'm not trying to single you out. Maybe not so much you, but I could tell for me, right? Son, eat everything on your plate.
Yeah, no, that's for real.
Eat everything on your plate.
Now,
what was the plate, son?
I'm eating everything on my fucking plate.
The plates that we had, son, you couldn't put that on a paper plate.
Yep. You're not sure when Mouse is gonna give you another meal.
Right.
Yeah.
He might wake up tomorrow and be like, none of you gets food for the next week, just because I don't know.
Right.
So get full.
Yeah. So that pass down thing, I didn't need that study to come out. What damn near 30 years later after I seen it.
Right. Right.
Like and that's the thing, right? So these kids today, because we went through a part of like not caring. There was things that's happened in the year 2000, 2001. We was like, son, that's not a big deal. There was things that happened in 2005. Was like, that's not a big deal. And the whole outrage cancel culture, there's stuff that black people see right now. And we're like, son, it's not a big deal. You know who's making a big deal? The people who are just catching on to how much shit that we've gone through in the past.
Yeah.
So they're making everything a big deal. And they don't check with us. So that they could have that fight somewhere else. So when I see a child like her born in the year 2001, that's what I'm fighting for. For her to exist today. And anyone that's black, if anyone that's black listening to this, please understand the whole scope of what I'm saying. I want the world to where someone born in 2001, I don't care what color, they have something that unifies them and they can go out in the world and exist and be together and not have to worry about that line so much.
I'm gonna walk back my statement.
Yeah.
But that's coming from me.
Right.
Because I'm that dude. So Tawan hit me up one time. He had an idea for a design, some shit in Arabic letters. So nah, fam.
Right.
Son, he was defiant.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Right.
We're not in that culture.
Right.
I don't care what it says about God, because as far as I know, these people refer to God as Allah.
Right.
I don't want the looser yes, right? But like, I don't think we're equipped to have that conversation. And I would hate for us to swag out and somebody approaches like, yo, fam,
you appropriate.
The fuck you know about this?
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
Off with your head.
Because that's type racism. Of shit's important for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because me today, you can see me. So I consider myself a very complex person and a very contradictory person, right? There are things that in another conversation will fly, but I do the opposite here because of whatever reason.
Yeah, it's a duality.
I guess that's just life.
You understand in certain circumstances, you might need to bend just a little.
Right.
Bend the knee.
So that's who we are now.
Right.
And in all of that, in my absoluteness, I pride myself on knowing for a fact that no one can come to me and dissect any part of who I am.
Absolutely.
For any reason.
As you should.
And what I mean by dissect, I mean,
they're not gonna.
Yo, why you doing this? Do you even know? Yes, I know. If I didn't know about it, then you wouldn't see it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get what I mean? And that's why I'm always seeking knowledge. I'm always asking questions. Like I need to be around things. I need to be inquisitive. And that's me projecting that on her.
Right.
Because now I'm 2 years into this journey of understanding the plight of the black man.
Right.
So when I see shit like that, I'm questioning, did she do her fucking? She's a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Did she do her 2-year journey to understand the complexities behind this?
Yeah.
But then I also forgot what you guys reminded me of. Nah, that's the point. That's the goal.
Yeah,
The goal is unequivocal, unquestionable equality. Let's forget, because now today, right? You know, motherfuckers is driving Audis and BMWs around here. Fam, are you a Nazi?
Right. Yeah, yo.
You get what I mean? Like, that's the point.
But hold
like,
up.
we're past that.
Adidas
Right.
too.
And let me get this one.
Yes.
Let me get this one out. Just to further the point that you're making, think about the nice cars we choose to, like you said, are you a Nazi? I'm going to take it a step further. What about the white cop that stops the black person because he's driving a nice car?
You know, that has not happened to me.
It does not happen to me.
And in some respects, I've recognized my privilege.
See, but
because my car is flashy as fuck. Snow, you've been in the car with me doing retarded amounts of numbers.
I gotta say something though. See, they don't care about your caddy. They don't care about your Audi.
Mm-hmm.
The signal of success, stereotypically, is Mercedes, Benzes on that level. Mm-hmm. Lexus, still, for whatever reason, on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all pull up in one of those, and then, of course, y'all know Maserati, Porsche, all that other stuff. But they're less likely to get you for an Audi. They're less likely to get you for a caddy. But if you pull up in those other ones, that's the mentality. For some reason.
I have to think about it.
Yeah, I'll
hear your point.
I'll
you know
think
why
about
it took
that.
me so long to get this ES300? You know why it took me so long to get this ES300, fam?
Because there's stigma attached to it.
Yes.
There are 21-year-olds out there driving S550s.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't feel that.
Right.
I feel like, no, get him.
Yeah.
Get him.
Right.
Because I'm going to be coming back from dinner with my wife, and he's going to cut us off because he's drunk and high. Get him.
We can have the conversation about the BMW with the
But
I'm
maybe
gonna be
you're
careful.
right.
I'm gonna be careful with how I say this. There was two very young black men
Oh yeah.
that in a BMW 750i.
You was upset.
That and I'll express. I'll just get it out there while I was upset. The dudes rear-ended me. Now, it looked like some shit. You know how, I don't know if you guys know when you get rear-ended, but there's another car that when you get out, they hop in and take your vehicle.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was rear-ended, and subsequently, the individuals fled. And I was chasing their ass down.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad that I was rear-ended. I was mad that I had to chase their ass down.
Yeah.
But the point was, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get them. Yeah. Why? Because that car had some foo-foo insurance on it that when I finally, when my insurance company called the plates assigned to that car, it was some Joe Schmo all the way 500 miles upstate.
And the scammers won again.
And the scammers won again.
Yeah.
Right.
And who are the scammers? And this is not to say
who are the face of the scammers right now.
Right. No. Who are the scammers? Who are the fucking scammers?
Mm.
The individuals that is driving around with foo-foo insurance are scamming. Okay,
right.
Are scamming. I'm not gonna say that they're that they're the face. I'm not gonna say that maybe they didn't go to homeboy over on the other side to get these plates and whatnot. But it's real out here.
Yeah.
And who is getting caught with this shit? Us.
Yeah.
Right.
Us. And who is hitting people and trying to flee? Us.
Yeah.
I can't blame white people for the bullshit that black people do.
Oh, just people.
Or people.
You know, I'll say to Snow's point, I hear you,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I acknowledge my privilege.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly look. For instance, I don't wear fitteds anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you haven't seen me wear fitted.
Maybe that's the reason why I don't really get pulled over. I do drive like a jackass here and there.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, he does.
You know what I mean? Come off the gas pedal for what? You know what I pay for this gas pedal?
Yeah.
But I understand.
Yeah.
So it continues to be a complex conversation. I would like to walk back my culture vulture comment.
And it will be complex because there's not going to be a black and white answer about none of this.
Right.
There's been so much. Our history for so long has been presented as black and white.
Right.
There's a lot of gray and a lot of shades of gray, 50 shades if you want to make the joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it is. But what I see Billie, and I looked at, while we're talking, I looked up some images of her, and I'm like, no, she has freedom. And a lot of this look like images of that's who she was. It's not the put on her. This is not her when she made her debut. This is what she was wearing prior.
It's what she gravitated to.
Prior to this.
Before she got hot. It's what she was wearing.
Just who she is.
And
absolutely.
it's some of the stuff that even back in our nostalgia days, we looked at those rappers or those black designers or whatever and was like, what are y'all doing? Which showed up in shows, which showed up on the runway, and we was like, fam, we're not doing that. And now that's a thing today. Right? It's actually the third time it's been around. And I'm with it. Let her rock. Let them rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this changes the conversation.
Everybody in that era. You know what I mean?
This changes the conversation about cultural appropriation.
Mm-hmm.
If she's gonna rock, then what does cultural appropriation look like if it don't matter anymore?
The appropriation.
What about corn braids? Corn rolls.
The appropriation is here. So I'm glad you brought that up. So sorry, but I gotta bring this in. Kim.
Right.
Calling something.
Kanye fan. I don't give two shits about Kim, but carry on.
When she went and said and named these braids,
right?
That's the appropriation, because now it's like, oh, Kim said this, Kim made this up, Kim is this. No, she didn't.
And
the name is wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Now let me ask you a question: Is it possible for black people to culturally appropriate?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Because I feel like black people from women
mm-hmm.
from the 90s until because natural hair is a thing now.
Yeah.
But from the early 90s up until late 2000s.
No, still today.
The white crack. Perm.
Oh.
Because black women want to straighten their hair.
No.
Right.
And straight hair is a white woman's thing.
No. It's not that they wanted to. There was two things happening at the same time. One, nigga, your hair is nappy, it's unpresentable.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was just ponytails.
So you
black
think it's
ponytails.
not awareness for self?
Hold on. No. It doesn't matter. You want to work for our company? Because we don't own nothing. We don't own anything. Yeah, you want to work?
Let's call it how it really is.
Okay.
Fix your hair. We tried to come through with the braids. They weren't trying to hear that. Perm. Some of it also was, yo, we don't know, but we're going to do this thing to our hair, so it's one less thing to worry about.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But no matter what, we still going to get attacked for that skin.
Now, today, if we go into an industry where...
It's a lot better today, but it's still
I still see a woman doing it just because, this is how I prefer my hair to look.
Right. She has
an option. Is that cultural appropriation?
No, it's not, because at where do you draw the line? Who knows that if she goes back the other way, she mysteriously lose her job or people start talking to her any kind of way. Mm-hmm. It's nowhere near from gone. There's a dude who I think just showed up to Ellen, got given a lot of money because he had to cut his hair to wrestle, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
They cut his hair at the wrestling match. Not WWE stuff, like scholastic wrestling, real Olympic style wrestling.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right.
Like, we still are affected by this. There are certain people who are playing nice.
And you saying when white people do it, there's no effect
no
for them
one
not
says
to do
anything. And I can tell you that from experience. When I was an intern, I was called a super intern. I was working with a bunch of white people. And to be honest with you, I do not remember any black people being there. I really do not. Right? There might have been some what they call, the IT black people. We know what that is, right?
Yep.
So, fam, there was some people in there who was wearing the quote kinky hair.
Yep.
They had the curls that looked like our curls when we not having to deal with their stuff, right? When we don't have to deal with the influence of white.
Right.
They were fine. They had the big hair. They could do the cornrows. They would do them. No, not an issue. But let us be somewhere where I'm the black person there and we're meeting with someone that has these people in their crew that are actually black, music labels, because I told you a website that I worked on, right?
Mm.
I'm hearing rumbling with the people I work with.
Mm.
Now, I love that company, so I'm not going to let specifically 4 people
Sure.
change that.
All right.
But here it is. If I was to have done that, if I would have came to work with braids, it would have been an issue. But it's okay when they do. And that's something that we still fighting today.
Would you ever look at what Kim did for braids as empowering?
No.
Much like what Billie's doing by just whatever, this is what I'm wearing?
Nah,
No, I don't
because Courtney Cox did it earlier.
Listen, I don't think that a white person can do something that a black person does and got slighted for, and it be empowering. I think that once the decision is made that it is acceptable across the boards, then it becomes empowering.
But wouldn't Kim doing that make braids acceptable across the board?
I've seen Kim. I've seen Kim speak up for stuff, right?
Right, but
she did not speak up for these.
That's the same conversation as her petitioning to Trump to release that black woman that was arrested for known drug selling, and she got 25 to life, and now she's no longer locked up. And now the commercial is her praising this black woman.
I've seen it. It was on the Super Bowl.
Yep. Praising Trump. Now, I'm not going into the whole Trump thing and what it is. No, we should. First of all, I'm going to say it like this. Black people should have been petitioning a long time ago.
We didn't know about
White people should not have to petition for black people, but it is still a weird look.
I'm of the
for
opinion.
you to
No.
I'm of the
they
opinion.
should continue petitioning. We should just be more involved. If you pay attention to another conversation that's going on, there are black women who are pulling out of the environmental situation because they are not being heard in the situation. This is very recent.
So
they're pulling out of the environmental fight because they are not being heard. And this is what I've been telling black women for at least 20 years. You have to be careful when they come get you. Because when it's time for you to be heard on a situation, you can deliver their message all day. But when it's time for your part to be heard in it, you're not going to get seen. There's been a picture of some environmental thing. It's 5 girls, if I'm not mistaken. They cropped out one girl who was on the corner. Guess what color was the girl out on the corner?
These things still happen. I see them today.
she was black.
No, these things still happen.
This is a very real thing. Now, going back to the Kim thing, she spoke out against that, right?
Right.
When the knots, the Bantu knots was a thing, became a situation, she did not speak out on that. From what I remember seeing, and because it's her, I don't go in all the way, and I don't hunt too much. But I saw the post, and I didn't see what I thought I would have saw there, considering that she has a black man and now has a quote black daughter, right? I didn't see what I needed to see, and I said nothing about it. I just kept it moving.
Right.
I just kept it moving. This is the only reason why I'm speaking about this, because for whatever reason, this conversation led to this, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney Cox did it too.
Who's
right?
Courtney Cox?
Courtney Cox is the chick from Friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was dating Chandler. You didn't
Okay.
watch, right?
Never seen Friends. I watch him living single.
She has, right? That's right. And we could talk about that there, right? So she had at one point put on the braids. She put on the whole thing braids. She even had it in an episode of Friends, and I think about it. And she went and she was shaking her head around. I found it funny, and it's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's exposure, and who knows what it's going to do in the long run. Now, when they tried to come for her, very different back then than it is today.
Very different.
Very different. What I remember reading back when I was looking for it, I didn't read anything that I thought she should have said. Maybe she didn't even know. She just saw a dope hairstyle on a woman and was like, "Oh, I can wear that too."
So you think Kim is meaningful? She's purposefully appropriating.
What I think is, I think she did with the other part. We'll take that another time
with the curves
later,
and all that.
With all that. But even the style, like she stole from J-Lo and J-Lo stole from you know who. But like she saw something and made it a thing.
Okay.
And when you make it a thing, what we're saying is, yo, give
That was my point to Billie Eilish. Yes.
Give props to the thing. No. So the difference between Billie and her is Billie's born in it.
Yeah. No, I see.
Kim is, I'm scouring. Oh, what's
for what
this?
to do next? Yeah.
That's like when people need to adopt, and they adopt all these foreign babies. When adoption, when kids in services here, it's through the roof here.
Right.
Through the roof here, but everyone's going and getting these kids from other countries.
From Africa, Somalia.
Nope. I don't want to say that, because the thing that they do is the United Colors of Benetton. Yes, they get those African kids, but they're getting the Asian kids too. They're getting these other kids.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is,
right here, get the kids here. Listen, I'm all for somebody taking in an African American child, an African child, a black child, an Asian child, or what have you.
Get the American kids. We have it all. We have all the cultures. Get the American kids.
This country is the only non-third world country that still has homeless people living on the street.
I don't think so.
In the fucking No.
There's a study out.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Son, there's homeless families out here
in the street.
I disagree.
Listen,
but other countries have this problem.
We know that.
We do have this problem. But think about their social system versus our social system.
Our social system is largely founded on capitalism.
Absolutely.
And this is our culture as a country. So I think. And you look at all what do you call it? Utilitarian countries.
Yes.
They largely don't have these issues, but you also have somebody telling you what type of toothbrush to use and how many kids you can have. So there's no perfect. This is just from
I agree.
a more. Let's not say ours is so fucked up as if there's a better somewhere else.
Right. Listen, and that's why I said. That's why I prefaced what I said. To be the country that we are, and we are still like. Let's be clear. Where is that? In Flint, Michigan.
Sure.
Express to me. Because
still to this day, I don't believe that issue is fixed.
Son,
it's not fixed. I just stopped talking about it.
But express to me why in 2019, and I just had this because because
Kanye is not on MTV saying that fucking Donald Trump doesn't care about black people.
Hey,
because if that happens now, right? Well, we're gonna see, because I've heard the backlash behind that comment.
Which comment?
George Bush don't care about black people.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I've heard the backlash behind that and how George Bush was deeply saddened, and there were people close to him that was like, that's not the case. It was a political thing. But you know what? At the end of the day, motherfuckers showed up right after that.
Yeah. No, Bush.
That's like you at work and somebody sent an email and you just like, I'm going to do this other thing.
Bush.
And then they send another one to your boss. And then your boss is like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I'm getting to it.
Bush,
were you really?
Bush should have felt the way, and the sad part is, he was gonna get to it. Yeah, like, there was other things in play.
But this is different now. Ain't nobody getting to it.
Hey, listen.
Exactly. That's what it feels like.
This conversation has wildly spun out from Billie Eilish.
Well, I mean,
we made the point. Like, we kind of spiraling, and like that's what my whole point. It's not a black and white situation.
No, I agree.
This conversation it started, and I understand. Listen, first and foremost, but before I even go further, Billie Eilish, dope fucking artist. She might be the next big thing.
You know who she reminds me of? Birdie.
Yes.
Birdie had an amazing voice, just like Billie, and she was young, but she just never. She never popped.
Right.
So it's dope to see that Billie Eilish is actually, she's getting it.
I think what works for her, what works for her is because she's so young to have a voice like that.
Yeah, it's dope.
It really resonates. It resonates her as an artist with so many people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, again, the reason why it went into where it went to was because somebody said she is a cultural she culturally appropriates black. Well, she appropriates black culture, and no, she was born into black culture. She was born into hip hop.
She was born into culture.
She was born into
culture.
It's up to you to make that conversation as if to do we claim this culture? Or do we need to claim it?
And
do we need to remind you where this culture comes from?
But my thing is, and I can say this, I would have more of a problem with her parents saying you shouldn't dress like this,
right? And
having a real deep rooted problem with it, because then her to go out and wear it.
Understand that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole thing with Billie Eilish. But this was a very long and deep rooted, and heartful conversation.
Let me just the conversation about Black excellence.
Oh yeah.
So my project, it was a very much like what we're having here. Two of the boys is at the crib, and we was talking about a lot of these similar undertones.
Right.
And I voiced my opinion that I think, in the very near future, we're not talking tomorrow, but we're talking a generation or two away, that racism's never not going to exist, but it won't be relevant.
Oh, so I would say that it may not be relevant now, but it exists.
It exists. And the one of the guys was like, false. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, you don't ever think like black people will be equal to whomever?
Before you go further, how old is he?
My age.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Carry on.
And like that, his answer like shook me to the core. Like, he legitimately didn't believe that black people would be equal to whomever. Ever.
I actually feel the same way.
So that really like bothers me. Because that to me says you don't, understandably so, you don't understand your worth. No one soldier understands that he helps win the war. Why? Because you're in the trenches. You're a moment away from losing your life.
Mm-hmm.
Your decisions are murky. There's a lot going on around you. It's just you in this world right now.
It's
you
difficult
and your feelings.
for him to comprehend.
But if it wasn't for 30,000 of you who feel the exact same way,
that's why they all
this
wear
war
green.
could not ever have been won.
Shout out to Harlem Hellfighters.
So my thing is like, guys, I get it. Like, we're in the trenches, and you when you have a roach problem, you can't kill all of them at once.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're going to still pop out here and there.
Yeah.
You're still going to deal with that. And that's racism. So
yep.
It's going to pop out. And then you step on it.
And move on.
You come home and you see one on the wall like, you son of a bitch. And you slap it.
Yeah.
Now, my take was, we could be totally off on this.
Yeah.
But it was clear for me to see that I had this person that was very close to me, I felt didn't recognize his power.
That's what I like to refer to as kind of a reverse racism.
And it could be some of that institutionalized shit.
Right.
And I'm not religious, for those of you who don't know, but I feel like religion, specifically Christianity, is the last and most effective chain the slave master ever put on black people.
It sure is.
So there's a good bit of that.
And this is coming from a person who has gone to church for 20 plus years.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care to get in that conversation.
Yeah, no, definitely. No.
It is what it is. So the project is about redefining black excellence, because when you hear black excellence, you think of somebody you saw on Twitter with hundreds of millions of followers and fast cars and faster women.
That's not black excellence.
And my thing is like fam, you came. His parents are still married today.
This person.
Yes. Both his parents are alive and well and married and own a home in Brooklyn. Right? We're talking an old mill basin that's predominantly white.
Yep.
You came from black excellence.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then you went to school in Boston.
And I sold the one
black
gram.
excellence.
In a majority white school, graduated with good grades, went and worked in corporate America. who you have to work harder than most of your peers who are not your color, but
absolutely.
you still in that ring trading blows. Fam, that is black excellence.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I took a bunch of these dudes that are close to me, and I took photos. Now, the way I took the photos are very specific to me. So me, as a bigger guy, I'm never taking my shirt off.
Okay.
Fuck that. Right? And you could say I have a big ego, but I also got, behind big egos is big insecurities.
Right.
Right? And the one place I'll only and ever take my shirt off is in my house.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I brought these dudes to my house. Take your shirt off. And I take portraits of them.
Okay.
You get what I mean? This is, you are excellence and you're strongest in my house because this is where I feel strong.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And that's the basis of the whole shit.
Right.
And it's just like, the project is more of a message to my mansdom. Don't let anybody sway you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it hurts that you don't see you the way I know you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm hoping to have... I got them answering some questions about their background and how they handle adversity and shit like that. And I'm gonna get it up. I'm trying to get it for the spring.
Right.
For, what do you call it? An exhibition.
Right. Right.
So, that's what it was funny that you said black excellence.
Yeah. How much we still working with good time.
Let's push to, since he's talking about photography, I want to push to that
why not?
Fuji camera.
Why not? I think we wrapped up Billy.
So
Billy, we fucks with you, Billy.
We
In
fucks
case
with you,
anybody's
Billy.
confused about where we at in this
Yeah,
Rest
conversation,
no
assured.
problem.
we fucks
Rest
with you, Billy.
assured. We fucks with you.
And we got your back.
For sure. For sure.
So this Fuji is the Billie Eilish of
From one Billy to another.
So I really like what Fuji's doing right now.
Son, I need a new camera.
You might want to get a Fuji.
Like this?
Fuji's doing a few things right.
Okay.
So when you think cameras, you think Sony, you think full frame, and Fuji's been largely APS-C. So the same size sensor that's in your A6000.
Right.
Right?
Does it overheat like my fucking A6000s?
No.
Yeah, A6000 came with that problem.
No, that was an old problem. And
motherfucker.
Fuji exists in this world where they're like, nah, fam, APS-C is good for me. It's not about the megapixel count. Go fuck yourself. Right? So they make their cameras are very beautiful. They're very ergonomic. They're very they got this very old school
look.
vintage look to them with all the dials. And a large part of it also is they do these film simulation modes. That's very unique to Fuji. So the JPEGs look like a lot of old Fuji film. So they replicated how old Fuji film would look into a quote unquote filter, if you would. On like, you know, on Instagram how you apply a filter.
So I got filters on the A6000, but
you ain't got it
I'm
like
not
this.
using
You
them.
ain't-
Fuck them fucking filters.
I say filter to oversimplify it so you grasp the concept.
Yes.
But it is wild.
Son, where is
The
it
look
at, son?
of Fuji cameras.
Is it in this house right now?
No, I don't have the Fuji with me. I
God
got
damn
the
it.
Olympus. But this is not the new. This is a newer one that they came out
This
with.
is the
okay.
X100V.
The X100V.
Not to be confused with the X100F.
Yeah, I don't understand where they're going with the lettering.
So
but
the
okay.
lettering is supposed to be representative of numbers. If you think about it, right? The V,
the Roman letter.
yeah. Well, the V is the Roman letter, but the F is something else.
Okay,
So, but this is the current.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a baby X Pro 3, so it's got that hybrid viewfinder.
Son, it is also $1,400 fucking dollars.
That's not a bad price.
It's not a bad price for it.
It's not bad.
Nah, this is a hell of a lot of camera
The
for that
hybrid
money.
EVF
Still.
OVF with the switch.
Yep.
You could do it.
Yeah, it's dope.
God damn.
You know,
son.
I think it has the tilt screen now. I think the screen touches
Yes, it
now.
finally has a articulating display.
Right.
It is touchscreen.
On recording, you get the 4K 30.
Yeah, 120 on 1080p, 120 frames a second. It's a dope camera.
That lens on it is
yes, they improved the lens.
23.
It is a it's a
F2,
23
right?
millimeter lens,
Mhm.
but if you do the math,
It's really like
35.
35, right?
Is the lens changeable?
No.
No, this is
No.
right. So the not the challenge. Well, it kind of is a challenge, right? Not a challenge like how to get around it. It's like it's taking that aspect away from you so you could just focus on composition.
Right.
Okay.
And at the 35 millimeter point, you can do a lot of creative things with that.
Yep.
You can still get a little bokeh if you needed it.
35 is. I've never shot with it.
You can
But it's-
you can get a lot of bokeh. You can
I've
get
always understood that 35 was like a very good sweet spot.
35 is like the eye. To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
That's
35
what
is
they
supposedly what the eye is
say.
supposed to see.
And it's
Supposedly,
like-
They used to say it was 50 millimeters, and now they changed it to 35.
right?
So 35 is a 28 is too wide for some people, right?
Mhm.
A 28 millimeter lens is what you would use for like street photography.
So I
But
need a
people would say,
35.
it's not good enough for portraits. A 50 millimeter is excellent for portraits, but people would say, it's too narrow to do a lot of street and landscape stuff. 35 is right in the middle.
You could do either or with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put together some nice video compositions if you're just trying to make like in a day of, and you're just getting street videography, as I
Yeah.
like to call it. Son, you'll do some amazing
That's what I'm
things
trying to
with
do
that.
now.
Yeah. I like
So
it.
what lens is on there? You have a 50 millimeter, do
So
you?
1650.
16 to
16
50.
to 50.
So at 16, you'd have to put that lens at the equivalent of 23 millimeters, so you can see what 35 looks like. Because remember, APS-C, when people say the full length of the full math of a focal length is measured by full frame.
Right.
So when somebody say 50 millimeters, they're talking about 50 millimeters on a full frame camera.
Right.
When you say, I need an 85, it's 85 on a full frame camera.
Mhm.
So today, if you go out and buy a 50 millimeter lens for your Sony, your A6000,
That
Right.
shit would be close
that
to
is an
85.
APS-C sensor. So you got to times 50 by 1.5. So you're not you're not buying a 50. It's like a 65 or 70 millimeter or some shit like that.
I see. So
So-
you would have to adjust.
You'd have to adjust.
Okay.
So, I mean, but ultimately, no, you don't have to adjust. You put the fucking lens on the camera,
Yeah.
and what you see is what you see. Like, the numbers don't matter.
Swing away, Merle.
Exactly. So the numbers really don't matter. But this new Fuji's nice. I like to see Fuji hitting hard. And one thing about Fuji, when you buy into their ecosystem, right? Let's say tomorrow 8K comes out and Fuji releases a camera next week with 8K, chances are they're going to update your camera to get that feature.
Nice.
They don't leave people behind. So
They do their best to keep you current and not
Right.
feeling like you missed out because you bought our other product.
exactly. Like the only reason I didn't get a lot of the not even a lot, because there's not I have an XT2,
Right.
and the XT3 is the last one that was released that turned everyone's head. Like, oh
Right.
shit, Fuji balling.
Right.
Very little differences between that camera and mine.
Right.
The reason I couldn't get the features that were on the XT3 is literally because it would overheat the camera.
Right.
Like, it
Yeah,
was a
my
new
fucking
processor they put
problem.
in, so it would
Right.
work the current one
So it
too
could work
hard,
that, right.
and they weren't willing to sacrifice the instability.
And it's fair.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So, but I remember when I got when the 1H came out, the XH1, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
there were some features in there that we didn't have. And Fuji was like, here you go, fam.
Yep.
Because that was the same sensor. It's a beautiful camera, isn't
Mhm.
it?
That's fucking awesome.
So, yeah.
So, like, if anybody is wondering, if they had the 100F, pretty much the megapixels is about the same, difference of 2,
Yeah.
but it's using that CMOS sensor 4 versus the 3.
the X-Trans
11,
shit.
11 frames per second versus the 8.
That's a big number, by the way. It's a big increase.
Yeah, if you're talking about autofocus, 425 versus 325, and pretty much everything else comes down to same except for the video thing. Again, 4K at 30. The other one didn't have 4K. It was full HD up to 60. But this one could do 4K, 30, UHD or DCI if you care. 2K at the 60p, and then at full HD up to 120, which he mentioned earlier.
Right.
As far as the connectivity, this one's USB-C.
Yep.
You got the Type-C stuff, which means it's going to be
Finally.
faster to try to do that
Right.
versus the USB 2. And everything else is the same except for the wireless side, right? you have the Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth. The other one was just Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing about this camera, the only downside, not a downside. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
The only thing you need to consider about this camera is it's a fixed lens.
And again, that's the challenge.
And for me, I would never do a fixed lens camera because I'm a very particular photographer. You get what I mean?
You need options.
See, to me,
I need something long and I need something wide.
talking from
Hey, yo.
talking
Watch
from
your mouth there, sir.
talking from a lower level of photography, right? This is a great gift camera at this price point.
Yeah.
Because again, you're not allowing whoever you're giving this to worry about lenses.
Yep.
Here, take this camera.
Which is a good thing to not have to worry about.
Now, because there's other cameras that are point and shoots that you can give to them and you let them work it out. But this camera looks like a professional camera that you can take this lens off and put something else on.
Mm-hmm,
This camera can do portraits. This camera can do landscape. This camera can do a bunch of different things until you need to go crazier. There's a little. If you get the better you get with the camera, you could do a little bit of macro.
Like I don't know,
like a fake macro. You could do fake macro with it, and then you can do video.
You can do video.
My iPhone.
And then the videos, like you said, we're trying to go pro here, right? And then the videos that you could do with
this is an iPhone Pro.
35 millimeter film. 35 millimeter film in a one way is what they used to shoot for cameras.
Yep.
Camcorders. And I mean professional camcorders. So you're already given the tools to make your small mini movies that may pique your interest.
Yeah.
And then if you branch out, guess what? You have an LB camera.
Yeah.
If you're a starter. Now I can see pros grabbing this camera too because there's something here.
I would do it.
Yeah.
If I had the money, I'm currently saving for the next Fuji.
Right.
But if I had the money, I'd do it.
Son,
Yeah.
This would be my everyday camera.
And
this is a professional picture.
the only thing pro about that photo is the screen that makes it look better. Put that up on your computer and then we talk.
Oh, would you like me to put this on the computer?
God,
Do-
with this
do-
fucking
do your
iPhone.
worst.
Absolutely.
So, this is the kind of camera, because don't forget, Sony has a camera similar to this, right? There's a couple other people who have cameras similar to this. And, there's a place for this. And just to let people know, son, the 100F sold.
It's a very popular camera. You know why? Because it's
sold.
It's a poor man's Leica.
Sold.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what Leica is,
Shit.
the first one you're going to look up is probably going to come in at $12,000.
Leica's the god camera.
Shout out to the monochrome M10.
I will own a Leica.
Yeah. I work with a guy. We actually share the same birthday. This dude has Leicas out the wazoo.
You have his address?
Huh? Nah. Not for you. I don't have his address.
Nah, son. I have since replaced the Lamborghini at 40 with the Leica at 40.
So you want 4 Leicas?
No, I just need to own a Leica.
Okay.
And it's much cheaper than a Lamborghini. But I mean a Ferrari, sorry.
Would you get the M10?
Lamborghinis are trash. Huh?
Would you get the M10? Or is that too specific for you?
No, the M10 is nice. The M10 is nice. The problem is they got so many special editions that you pay out the ass just because this one's black and this one's gold and shit.
Yeah.
There's one with a British flag on it. It was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
I need that. I've never been to Britain. Yeah, I'd probably get the M10.
Yeah.
The new one's not bad. So the new Leica, I forgot the model number. The new one they just released was the exact same thing as Fuji. And when I say thing, it was a fixed lens.
What you mean, the M10 model? Oh, okay.
Right?
I know what it's about. Yeah.
But that camera was balling. Like it was a full frame camera. It was like Leica's the god camera. But let me, someone, I got questions for you. So I'm going to throw something your way.
Let's go.
So, the Kobe's no longer with us.
Mm.
The Black Mama's no longer with us. And
R.I.P.
we saw
Black
this.
Mamba.
We saw this, and it's still very fresh.
Yes.
We saw this phenomenon where people are buying up all of the Kobe paraphernalia.
Yeah, fuck them.
Wherever, however, and the reselling prices are through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me, son. Where do you stand on that?
Well, first and foremost, I think they're all scumbags.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. I am no one to say what a person should or should not do with their money. I am in a sneaker culture that is also and I'm also in a what was that term you use? It's just fucking eludes me. People who are solely about the dollar.
Capitalists.
It's it's a very capitalist country.
Sure.
And people don't like
probably
those.
the only capitalist country.
Oh no,
I don't know.
but I can probably argue a couple of other capitalist countries in the world. But when it comes to capitalism in the United States, I think we take it to a whole other level.
It's our DNA. You have to.
Yes, we.
It don't get no other level than slavery.
It's yes, you're right.
And reform prison. The prison reform conversation.
And it goes in many directions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem that I have is not capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Is a person profiting off of the death of someone, which is capitalism, but it's more or less no fuck you nigga scumbaggery. And yes, it has been something that has been done from the fucking king Michael Jackson, his family, and who's responsible for his estate. It's done with Prince and his estate. It's done with Elvis Presley and his estate, and it's going to continue to be done when concerning Kobe. The thing that I have and the problem that I have with the sneaker culture, and this harkens back to culture and who we consider the voice of this culture. For me and other people who are very passionate about sneakers, I haven't bought a Kobe Bryant pair of sneakers. I have no intention. I had intention to buy one pair, and if I can ever find that pair now at this point at a better price point since he's passed away, I still want that pair of sneakers. However, anything past that particular sneaker, I'm not buying. I'm not buying his Adidas. I'm not buying his Nike, because if I didn't buy it while he was alive, I'm not buying it while he's dead.
That's a fair point.
So, me being a capitalist, because capitalism is about profiting or turning a profit on pretty much any and everything that you can get your hands on or the ability to, I'm not going to purchase a pair of Kobe sneakers to turn a profit.
Sure.
Because I wasn't doing
decision.
that. And it's personal.
It's a moral compass.
Yep.
Right. And the problem with capitalism, it is very devoid of moral compass.
Sometimes.
I think in a high percentile of the time is devoid of moral compass. Sure. And it will be a discussion that I tend to teeter on.
Yeah. It's very complex.
For me,
mm-hmm.
I would say the first time I can ever say that I recall, I guess you call it capitalism. I really don't have a good understanding of what capitalism is, and the outside of the textbook, right? Capitalizing on something.
Capitalism is your way of life. Just keep it that way.
All right. I've only known this, right?
Exactly.
We've seen this many times. It happens on TV with reruns. It happens on Rodney King got his beat down. There was a lot of shirts going out in support of that. Your local team made it to the finals. There's a lot of bootleggers with that. Bootleggers is it too, right?
Outside the Garden.
Right.
Don't come on, Knicks fans. It'll never happen.
Yeah. When Pac died, seen it there.
Seen that shirt a million times.
Son, I feel like it wasn't the next day, but at the time it was like 3 days. You know what I mean?
It was the day after
like
the
3
next
days.
day.
Yeah. Then whatever when it happened to Big, it was 1 day shorter than what happened to Pop.
Yep.
I was privileged enough to in some capacity work with or for MJ, however you want to look at it. It was that same night.
Yep.
It was the same day.
Yep. With the intent to capitalize.
With me in there, right? Me being in that position, I saw things happen that I wish he could have saw when he was alive, right? Because no matter how we look at it, right? No matter how you feel about it, this is what this dude's life meant, right? And so your life don't mean anything if people are not trying to capitalize it once you're a celebrity. Because we all know the saying goes, some rappers are better off dead. I heard people saying Michael made more money from him dying than he did alive. Like I've heard this. And with me being who I am and how in touch I am with this side of me is like, bro, that's pretty fucked up. But it's been normalized for me in a way to where all this, I don't even care. Because that's just the way this, I can't speak on other countries. I can't speak on other cultures, but as far as America, it's all I know. You know what I mean? It's all I know.
Sure.
Where we put the foot down at, I know one place we put the foot down at when whoever that was that came out with the dope colors, and the sneaker was kind of dope, but with the chain on it. I think it was the orange chain around the ankle. I didn't like the sneaker because of what the chain meant, but the chain, it was dope. So now what the Kobe thing is, bro, when a store slip up, what we doing?
Order 50 of those.
So we ordering whatever our car to let go through.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
Call the bank and ask for a raise on that credit line.
It's the same thing. You let those people deal with that. You let those people who are trying to get a piece of Kobe any way they mean, and someone like, oh, you want it, I got it. But it's gonna cost you. It may cost you a little, may cost you a lot, but it's gonna cost you. It's the same thing what we did today. Yeezy ain't dead. Who was out there? You think those people that was at the store, how many of those people you think that we caught on that line is putting them on their feet tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
more than 90% on that line, that current line was a reseller.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, this whole hype beast culture has taken me out of sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play ball. It's one of the reasons I never really cared, which is why I never owned a pair of Jordans in my life. You're not going to tell me. You're not going to tell me I'm the shit because I got Jordans.
What size do you wear?
I was wearing Versace before anybody knew what it was. They didn't know I was wearing Versace.
What size?
In high school, by the way, in high school, and they didn't know I was wearing it.
Yo, I got a pair right here, man.
What size shoes do you wear, sir?
That is none of your business.
Right
Stay out of my foot affairs, okay?
Son, you gonna get these ones.
Stay out of my foot affairs.
And you are gonna wear these.
You
ones.
are going to stay out of my foot affairs, sir.
I'm gonna check them tags when I get outside.
You can check them when you want. I already cut them.
Put these.
I'm not putting nothing on. We about to fight in here. It's about to be a Royal Rumble up in here.
Try those on, sir.
Who was it? Who was it?
On,
the Winter Soldier and Captain America versus Iron Man.
These ones on.
You knew about this?
I'm putting nothing on, son.
And I know you can swag these.
You know I can.
Yeah, those are
and
nice.
those are dope.
But
they're not going on.
These?
You showed me those.
They're not going on my feet, fam. So that's my thing when it came
gorgeous.
to that. When it comes to that, I saw that and I knew it was coming. I thought it was going to be the jerseys.
It's everything.
For some reason.
Yeah, it's everything.
I know it's everything, but the thing that made it to me first was the sneakers. Because that's the culture today. Sneaker culture. is the thing. That's the leading thing today, right? Of just like among everybody. Somebody's sitting on something. Everybody's sitting on something, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Because jerseys are down.
They'll be back soon.
They'll be back.
I'm hedging that bet.
And I'm willing to bet that it will be hockey jerseys first.
Jerseys.
I'm willing to bet it'll be hockey jerseys again.
I was give a fuck about Mark Messier.
I'm pushing football jerseys.
Son, the hockey jerseys.
Sorry.
Son, the hockey jerseys are fire. Especially if you live in Son, if you're in New York, the Brooklyn ones are fire.
We have a hockey team?
Son, we have 2 hockey teams.
The Islanders and the Rangers. Okay.
Yes.
Right. But I knew that was coming because that is, and when I say us, I mean America. So that's what we're about. You think all that coverage for Kobe didn't come without money in hand?
Son,
you think that was straight about love?
There are some places. That TMZ shit was about money.
NBA TV was about love. That was about their culture. That was about their brand. That was them understanding them. They was able to control the message. That is the only channel I watched through this whole thing.
Let me ask you.
Shoot, man, shoot.
Where'd you see the NBA TV video?
I was watching NBA TV.
Okay. ESPN, NBA TV, such and such. I'd be curious if you go to their YouTube channels, if these tributes to Kobe Bryant
are monetized
or not.
Hold on.
I want to just say this. A lot of sneaker YouTubers at that time, like particularly the high, Tony D2 Wild, Bullet RC, Mr. Fomer Simpson, and I want to say Cousteau, Jacques Cousteau, and one other. They didn't monetize.
Fair enough.
But everybody else, son, you can't tell me they wasn't monetizing.
Hold on, though. But let's not forget what business is and what business always needs to be.
No,
I'm not saying
that question was for Tawan.
Okay.
Because Tawan has a problem with how the sneakers are being handled.
Right.
And I get it because sneakers is your world.
Right.
Yeah.
But my point is everyone else is doing it. And this is not so if you see somebody jump off the bridge, you're gonna jump. Fam, everybody else is barely paying their rent as well. And if there's an opportunity for you to get that money
and pay your rent,
you get that money.
What happened?
Remember,
in
that's
the hood?
what I said. Teetering.
Yeah.
That is like, if I know I do a YouTube channel and I make a decent amount of money from YouTube, not a lot.
Yeah.
I make enough to go and buy more sneakers. And this man just passed away. Meanwhile, my lights are about to go off because I paid everything with the money from YouTube.
Yeah.
And you
got to recognize trends.
Yeah, that is where I kind of teeter on it, because there is a conversation that is needs to be had about the person that doesn't have 1,000,000 views, or their videos aren't trending on YouTube like some of the names that I just named.
Sure.
And now they have to monetize the conversation of Kobe losing his life, unfortunately, because they don't work anywhere. Their job is YouTube.
This is such a great perspective, the differences of perspectives here.
Absolutely.
Let's look at a car salesman. When you say a car salesman, depending on your experience, you may think of a greasy, yucky motherfucker. Yeah, let me show you the Buick in the back. You know what I mean? Like somebody's trying to sell you garbage.
Bro, I came for this Geo Prism.
Versus, when you go into the BMW dealer and they're like, would you like some coffee?
Right.
Right? Fam, those are the same people.
Yeah,
those are the same exact person.
Yep.
Let us never forget, you may not like the appearance or how presumptuous or how whatever one is over the other.
Right.
But they're in the same industry for the same reason.
And they are the same person.
You get what I mean? So I see how you could have this disdain for these motherfuckers out here buying Kobe bobbleheads and then reselling it. But fam, the person that's doing this was buying Game of Thrones bobbleheads and reselling it.
Yeah.
Right.
This is their world.
This is the world.
Right. This is what they do.
My issue is, if you are making money and you're not experiencing what the person is experiencing that can't make ends meet, and you're just out here, you're reselling, you're buying Supreme up. I can't get a fucking $120, $150 sweater or hoodie because you're buying them all up and selling them for $800 to $1,200. Or you are buying up Kobe's and inflating the price. That is illegal in the United States. It's called price gouging.
No. Price gouging only applies when it's coming from the retailer.
It applies. It is a term that's used when the oil companies inflate prices due to something else, like war. So you in an oil company,
they control it.
But all that's regulated.
An oil company, I like, just to be clear, an oil company cannot raise prices on oil during the time of war because it is a time of war. That is price gouging. You can now, in the sense of a person buying something because they've spent their money and the company got their retail cost or what have you. I'm just using the parallel.
Yeah.
So, in essence, it's the same. It's different, but it's the same. So you're going to spend $160 times how many times whatever to buy X amount of Kobe sneakers that you typically would not have 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours before his death.
Sure.
And now sell them for $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, and in some of them, many cases, over $1,000.
Yeah.
Kiss my fucking ass.
I agree with you. It tastes tasteless.
It's distasteful.
But I don't know if I would say it's immoral.
I let it rock.
I let it rock.
I'll just let it fly off the back. Like, it's like those things where I see with
it's not
dancers,
how I would handle it, but
like when I was dancing, I can't get mad at the dancer who out here using these other dancers to keep selling themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I'm not going to do it, and I might pay the price for not doing it because I cared about doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I never really danced for money like that. These people, that was a livelihood. So go ahead, do what you do. We can't talk about it, but do what you do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You're not a seller. You're not a hustler on that note. You're a different type of hustler. You're into sneakers because you're into sneakers. Some of these people are into sneakers for the money.
They have to pay rent. So you're coming from a place of privilege.
And then the other part of it is, son, I used to do it, bro. Let a store slip on something. No, granted, Mr. Monopoly didn't die.
Yeah.
Mr. Sony Camera didn't die. Mr. Whoever didn't die. But guess what? Somebody got fired because they messed up on a price.
Right. Do you feel bad for that?
Listen, I understand that.
If you went to Amazon and saw a camera for $25,
son,
I'm jumping on it.
How many of them you buying?
As many as possible.
And it's happened.
Do you feel bad for the motherfucker who? Because he's going. Are you going to say to yourself, "Let me only get one because I really do need it"? Because I don't want the person who made the mistake to get in trouble.
No, I'm going to buy it because guess what? You're in a business. So if you fuck up, that's on you.
Fam,
and now,
we're in the business of God. If he decides that it's Kobe's time to come home, that's on God. We're going to sell these jerseys, fam.
Right, but my thing is...
It wasn't our fault that Kobe left.
Right, and we're not saying that it's God's fault or whomever's fault, what have you, as to why Kobe is not here.
But Kobe went to heaven.
We're talking about
God and dunked on the angels.
But we're talking about and yelled Kobe. we're talking
Kobe yelled Kobe.
Kobe. I'm talking about a person that you have. I'm talking about two people. A person that is buying these sneakers that doesn't need the money.
How do you know that?
Agreed.
How do you know that?
It doesn't matter though.
How do you get to impose what someone needs or don't need?
It doesn't matter though.
Listen,
whether
pretend
they need
for
it
a
or
second.
not, fam.
Listen, that's something that they're in their soul have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
If I know you live in a house, your house is paid for, or your house is whatever you're paying rent, and whether you buy these sneakers or not, your house rent is going to get paid, or your mortgage is going to get paid, and your car note is going to get paid to the point, oh, I only got one car note left. And it's paid now. Now, you're going to go run to the sneaker store because sneakers is the in thing now. And you saying, oh shit, Kobe just died. No rest in peace. Now let me buy all these fucking Kobe's up and hike the price up. Come on, man.
I don't see it as disrespect.
Well, not saying, well, no. To each his own. Some people say rest in peace. Other people do what they do.
Son, Kobe's going to say rest in peace.
People said rest in peace and hit order.
And the NBA button, the NBA is never going to unmonetize any video where Kobe's playing on YouTube.
Absolutely not, because that's a business. And Kobe was in the business of
so they're still
basketball.
capitalizing on him.
Right. And I think that everybody should still have to pay whatever it costs to watch a Kobe basketball game. I could see
who decides that cost.
Listen, I could see if the person bought 10,000 pairs of Kobe's and sold them at the regular price. Now it's not capitalism. Now it's, listen, I want to make money. Yes, I understand he died. I'm sorry that he died, but I'm going to make money, but I am not going to hike those prices up.
Son, no, that's not capitalizing.
How is that not capitalizing?
You buy them at $220 and sell them at $220. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, then you sell them at $250.
Then why sell them at $250 if you can get $500 for them?
If you bought them and then gave them away and you gave them away to free,
then you shouldn't. Why even buy them?
No, I'm talking about if the Kobe's cost $150 and you sell them at $200. That's capitalizing because it's a heightened amount.
You as a person, your job, and this is what capitalism is about. And this is why I think it's funny how people try to put morals on companies. Companies are amoral. The number one thing about a company is to make money.
Money, honey, money.
And as much as possible. When you decide that you want to do something for a living, when you go to work, you don't go to work and be like, nah, fam, you could skim 15 grand off my yearly salary because I can pay the rent where I'm at right now.
Right.
Bull fucking shit.
And
if your employer put a piece of paper on the table and say, yo, here's a way for you to make an extra 15 grand, but my man over there ain't gonna get this money, but he's working as hard as you anyway, what you gonna do? Even though all your bills are fine and all your sneakers are bought, you still gonna let me get that 15 grand because that is the point.
Right. And in a company doing it, like I said, if the NBA is not going to stop charging people to watch Kobe highlights, Foot Locker is not going to stop selling Kobe's because he's passed away. That was never the argument. The argument was when you got Joe Schmo's 17-year-old son that never purchased a Kobe sneaker in his life. Now he's not buying a bunch of Kobe sneakers because he liked Kobe. He's buying a bunch of Kobe sneakers to resell them.
Now let me copy and paste your concept.
Okay.
It's the same with Jordan.
Let me copy and paste your concept.
Okay.
It's fucked up how Nike is selling Kobe shoes for $220 when they paid $20 to make them. And they should know better.
Yeah, okay.
So don't get mad at Joe Schmo.
And that was
get mad at Nike
argument. Because
by your concept, Nike should just be giving away Kobe merchandise if they cared about Kobe.
Okay.
Right? But that's not the point.
Or at least sell it for $8.24.
Nike said, you know why Kobe shoes cost $220 at retail? Because the market research
right.
says this is the most you can get for that shoe.
Okay. But do you know what Nike did? They stopped selling. I
heard they sold out.
No. They stopped after they saw the increase in Kobe merch. Mitchell and Ness. You go to Mitchell and Ness right now. You cannot find a Kobe.
But that doesn't excuse the fact that it is what it is right now.
Right, but
out the gate, they still sold it.
Okay, so
they sold because you need to confirm that's what happened.
What do you mean?
When he died, you need to confirm that.
Okay.
Once it was confirmed,
they stopped selling it. They stopped once there was a confirmation.
Because remember, Twitter kills people all the time.
Are we applauding Nike and Mitchell and Ness for not allowing the price hikes?
No,
what are we doing here?
Again, I think you're making this a conversation too deep into, because there's a huge argument that I can have with Nike. Mm-hmm. Right now, we could say that we could table that.
Yeah.
But the conversation or the argument is it right?
It is right, because it was, son, $220 is a lot for a sneaker.
So what you're telling me,
and Nike is pushing the boundaries on that. If Nike could sell those Kobe or Jordan or LeBron shoes, because they do sell LeBron shoes for $300 and change, right?
No, they sell them for $2.
Son,
$220.
If Nike figured out that motherfuckers would pay $300 from retail, they would.
Jordan brand does it. Everybody does it, but
Nike is the original
capitalist,
immoral motherfuckers.
Immoral.
So
capitalist.
I'm not mad at the dude that turns around and says, "Word."
No, I'm not mad at the reselling. If you're in the sneaker business of reselling, mm-hmm. I'm not mad at you. Mm-hmm. I don't have to buy from you. If you charge a decent, most of my, listen, you can go onto my account on the GOAT mm-hmm. and see how many sneakers I bought. Those are all resellers.
Yeah.
And I look for the best number and then I buy it.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with resellers. I don't have a problem with buying a sneaker that costs 30 cents or $10 to make.
Yep.
And the cost is up. I have a problem when a person that is not a reseller, not in this culture, it's the same as, God forbid, you pass away, right? And some scumbag.
All these YouTube episodes.
Some scumbag gets a hold of your art, your work, your photography.
Yeah.
And says, I'm buying this website because Ramon Trotman passed away, God forbid, and I'm going to sell all of his artwork and get thousands of dollars off of your artwork.
That happens more often than you know.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say somebody like Vivian Myers was the exact thing you're describing.
As opposed to...
And he wasn't seen as a scumbag. He was seen as a hero.
But that... who makes him the hero? So
because he exposed the world to all of her never before seen work.
Okay, but what did the family of Vivian Myers?
She didn't have a family.
Pretend for a second.
There was no overseer of
anything.
Right, and if there's no overseer, then that's something different.
Lightning in the bottle. Right.
I'm talking about you. You have a family. You have a wife. So now. This person purchases all of your stuff and sells it out there for thousands. Your wife gets not
very
one dime.
Different from what's happening. The equivalent would be
that's GameStop.
The equivalent would be I went out and sold my work through a website, and somebody reobtained it from that website.
Okay, so
no one's making Kobe Bryant shoes and selling them. This was already a deal he signed years ago.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, this is a product that somebody that doesn't know your blood, sweat, and tears, doesn't acknowledge your blood and sweat and tears, doesn't acknowledge Kobe's blood, sweat, and tears, capitalizing on
but how do you know?
But it don't matter. Bruh. You know why it don't matter? Because when the Kid Robot stuff was at, I didn't know nothing about it.
Bruh.
Didn't know nothing about it. Don't care who cut themselves trying to make this thing.
So how do I know? Because the Kobe Pro Tro 5, the big stage parade, was not $1,400.
No, that's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you. What I'm asking is, how do you know the people doing this is not part of the community?
But at the same time, it don't matter because hustlers will come through any territory and sell anything that they need to sell.
And I got a reason. I got a feeling this is only a thing because the people in the community is mad that they couldn't get to it and do it first.
Right.
Probably
because that's what that community does.
Right.
Probably.
And they are a cancer on the community that they so. It's like they're a sub community.
Yeah.
There's a sneaker culture. Then there's these vultures of that culture, which is the resellers.
Yeah.
Which is why even the sneaker that I saw, that I'm not part of this culture. I saw a sneaker that was advertised. I don't even know how I seen it. I was like, oh, I want to get those. I can't get them without paying $400, $300. I think at the time was $275. Bro, I don't care what you say. To me, for me, and only me, you shouldn't be paying over $100 for a pair of sneakers.
Unless they Jordans. What's your size?
You shouldn't be paying size 2. You shouldn't be paying over $100 for a pair of sneakers.
Okay.
And the reason why I feel like that's stronger today, because when I spent $150 on a pair of sneakers, they did not last. And this is at a time where I am not dancing. I am not running for no one's train. I am not running for no one's bus. I am not running from the cops. I'm not running from anybody in the streets. I'm not even playing tag. I'm not even chasing my nephews and nieces. And these sneakers broke on me like that, they are lesser quality. I don't care what no one says.
Have you seen that across the board?
I could pick up sneakers and look at the stitching, mainly Nike.
Do you think the new Nike stuff is of better quality than yesteryear?
You know why it's hard to tell?
Because I share Snow's opinion.
You know why it's harder to tell?
It's not hard to
look at all these sneakers. Son, how many times has these sneakers been worn out? And then, if you're a sneaker person, you're not bending your feet. Because that's the whole other part of the joke.
Oh,
every culture,
hold on.
You are. Every culture has its jokes. The jokes is, son, you're not putting a pair. You're not creasing Timbs. You're not creasing sneakers that are hype beast worthy. That's part of the joke.
All right.
Son, these sneakers are not durable, B.
All right. So, sneakers. You have to really identify nowadays. So anything in this on these shelves, I would even say as far as up there as well, are all considered lifestyle sneakers.
Sure.
So even though these were originally basketball sneakers, to wear them for basketball at this point in time, they're horrible.
But even when you wear them for basketball, I feel like most of these ball players only use these sneakers once or twice.
One and done.
No.
So sneaker players are one and done with.
How often do NBA players swap out their shoes?
Players, son, all the time. Some of them get fresh kicks every game.
Right.
There are basketball players that refuse to wear fresh kicks. They would rather wear sneakers that are worn in because they fit better.
And then even them. Son, we're talking about brand new out the thing, and they may have made it through practices to get broken in, their individual time, their training time to get broken in, but them sneakers are still spick and span. They sneakers don't look like my sneakers, not the ones I wore today. That the sneakers I wore last time we recorded, they don't look like that.
Right.
They're gonna run through sneakers, bro.
Right, of course, because when you look at what a basketball player, the stress level that a basketball player puts on a pair of sneakers is incredible.
Right.
When you look at a pair of sneakers after a basketball game and look at any sneaker and look at what they look like, they're mangled. They're mangled. They're still together, but they are mangled. So, when what he's saying, like I have never in all of my days of putting on a pair of sneakers, whether young or now, that sneaker just doing the bare minimum didn't hold up.
Anniversary Air Max.
It's happened to me. Vandals.
Anniversary Air Max. 90s.
Listen,
the black and gold joints. The dark gold, the deep gold.
Okay. So now
from Nike.
You have to
the Nike store.
My phone posits are fucked.
Phone posits.
3 times.
So phone posits will be fucked.
Son, but it wasn't like that when we originally had phone posits.
No, they were.
No, they were not.
Because I've seen a couple of pair of phone posits people that friends of mine had the sole stripped right off of them.
There's a whole community in Brooklyn.
Because they were made in China.
We dance in phone posits.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You really shouldn't be dancing in phone posits.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. We dance in them and they're fine. That's what I'm trying to tell you, son. You cannot, especially my style of dancing. Right. If you come out to an event with me, you wearing phone posits, they might look at you a little because you're tall and they know you're heavy, right?
Right.
They might be like, I'm not sure, but the first thing that they're thinking of, this dude can glide. What do you do when you glide, son? You either on your points, you're on your heels, or you're at least on your tips.
Right.
Not the tip of your points, but just like this shoe is bending.
Right.
This sole is going to get worked.
Oh yeah.
It's going to get worked. And if you're a ground dancer, son, you're going to see scuffs. I can show you dancers where they don't scuff their sneakers. The top of it, the bottom of nothing, and they glide their ass off. And then I can show you dancers that everything is touching the ground when it comes to that sneaker. Right. And they get up and they're fine. They get up and they're fine. The same phone posits, bro. I can show you videos from 2008, from 2010, 2012. If I could probably call 3 dancers right now who probably still dance. And they're probably like, yeah, son, I wear my phone posits all the time. I wore them in this battle and I could pull it up on YouTube. Son, the phone posits were quality up until I don't know when that you're talking about.
Well, I've never been partial. I've had phone posits, but phone posits just never really fit me properly.
Same.
Fair.
You know,
if you got wide feet, you got a problem.
They're not that comfortable for me.
And people were like, well, you know what? You have to wear them because the foam posits, it's a foam shoe. And what happens, the heat from your feet, it softens the material. And then when it cools, now it's more molded to your foot. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing all of that. Sorry.
Sure as fuck not doing all of that.
Yeah,
it's a big learning curve. So
you gotta wear that shit all day just for the fucking sneaker to heat up, and then now remold to your foot just for it to cool off, and then put it back on, and now it fits.
Yeezys.
Nope.
Yeezys work out the box.
Yeezys work out the box because it's knit. So a knit. Look at your knit sneakers.
Phone posits were basketball sneakers, right?
They were basketball sneakers.
When I played ball, and I love flight posits. I actually bought more flight. I wore more flight posits than phone posits. I actually gave phone posits away, even though they were given to me when I used to ball. Mm-hmm. As a baller who had problems getting sneakers, that burning process for foams was amazing. Granted, you burn them in practice. You burn them on your own personal time. But when it gets game time, bro, son, I'm not going to say it's like running on your feet because that is wild uncomfortable. Even me walking with shoes off is uncomfortable. But I imagine for people who take their shoes off in a fight, this is that feeling for them.
I just want to point out this has nothing to do with our original topic.
So,
hold on a second.
Oh, my bad.
Hold on a second. Snow has a pair of Jordans.
Snow does not have a pair of Jordans.
They look like Jordans to me.
Sir.
They are called what?
Flight.
They look like Jordans to me.
Air Flight something.
Those are the 89s, right?
Sir.
Let me ask you a question. Those sneakers you was just trying to put me in, right? What are those?
Those are Jordan 1s.
But what were they?
Those were airships.
So I have to accept that those are Jordans from here on out?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Fuck you, him, and Jordan, and those kids.
Yes. Sir.
Hold on, son.
Do Jordan have a pair of sneakers like that?
Yes.
He absolutely do.
He has a pair of sneakers that actually have the Jordan symbol on them.
But guess what sneakers I don't have?
You are
the one with the symbol on them. Fuck Jordan.
You are a scammer, sir.
Those are Air Flight 89.
Welcome to the community.
And I know Jordan has them. Didn't I tell you this before? So I'm not buying no dunks with Jordan logo on it. I wear flights.
Son.
I wear flights. I will not wear flights with Jordan on them.
You can't get the Kobe's, so enjoy the Jordans.
Yeah, that's all right, fam. What's the other sneakers that he has? The one like the Air Forces that he got his logo on one of them too. Fine, not wearing them with his logo on it. Not wearing them.
You know what I
don't what's the problem with Jordan?
Son, he just breaks my heart the way he treats Jordans.
Son.
Jordan got some fire. Jordan has some sneakers that I consider actually Jordans. I don't consider flights Jordans, right? Because they were flights first before they were Jordans. Son, Jordan has some sneakers, like my favorite ones, the Space Jams and a few of those in that time, the flu games, all that, right?
Make it happen.
Right
For your
around that
birthday.
time, around those times, right? Son, those are the patent leather joints. Son, immaculate. Those black, red, and white, fire. Guess what? Never gonna wear them. Never gonna own them. Actually, put my foot in them. They're comfortable. So I don't want no one saying out here that they're not comfortable. They weren't, especially back then. They weren't quality. None of that. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I don't
some
wear it for a
Jordans ain't
whole nother
comfortable for
reason.
shit.
And I've never put my foot in them, so I don't know. But the ones I have, son, sneakers not bad. You're just not gonna catch me in them. Period. You're not about to dictate who I am because of some Jordans, and that may not matter today. But it did back then. So fuck you.
I will conspire with the Kicks God to fix your life.
So we're gonna work on you, son.
You know what? You know. I can name 10 things that I would wear before I put on Jordan.
Yeah, it's all good.
Number 1, Asics.
You got that
Number
right,
2,
son.
Elise.
What the fuck is an Elise?
Number 3, I'd probably go back to BK Diamond Cells. I probably would go number 4. I'd probably would go to LA Gear with the lights. Matter of fact, put LA Gear twice. I will even buy the boots again with the lights in the color red. That's wild loud right there. And in today's climate where somebody will come up to me and be like, yo, what set you claim? Right? So I would probably wear Skechers, casual shoes.
You wildin', son.
I would probably buy a $300 Kohans or whatever you want to call it.
You're going to extreme lengths.
I will probably wear Reebok.
to avoid these.
I will probably buy Adidas. Not for ball, but Adidas straight up.
You wearing Reebok, son?
I don't wear Reeboks. I don't wear Adidas. I don't wear none of them shoes that I'm saying.
You would.
I would
wear
rather
Reeboks?
before I spend money on some Jordans.
Apartheid.
Tawan, we shall take this conversation off the air.
Yeah.
We sure will.
We'll get you right.
You're not doing it, fam. Shout out to everybody in 1997 who got flipped for their Jordans.
Yeah. Now you might get flipped for your Asics.
Yeah. Especially if they Ronnie Fike.
So going
All
back
I
to
heard
the
was somebody
original,
about to run my fade. That's all I heard.
the conversation here.
Who the fuck said that shit?
I don't know what you said. It sounded like run my fade to me.
I said,
You said Ronnie
Fike.
Fike, yeah, and I said run my fade. If somebody try to come get me for my Ronnie Fikes, they're gonna run my fade.
Son, them Ronnie Fike.
I gotta have on a pair of
Asics.
Payless, B. You come this way, son, you gonna run this 5, son. And then I might give them to you after and take your shoes.
Just morals. I think Tawan, you can be upset.
You should be upset.
I am upset.
But what
I am upset.
my perspective on
It's
why
out of
you're
your
upset
hands.
is, I feel like if you're gonna be upset at A, you should also be upset at B.
And also C, which is you.
Right. I feel like
I'm
this
a
is
consumer.
bubbling to the top because sneaker resellers are mad they couldn't get there fast enough to do the
And
exact
I say,
same
fuck
thing.
them. Fuck y'all.
F it isn't them themselves.
Fuck y'all.
And then I think there's somebody every day, every week, every month, every year, there are executives at Nike, Adidas that are mad that they can't fucking charge the prices that these things are actually going for.
Which is why they keep making them in short runs.
Right?
That's why everything is a problem. So now I can't get sneakers because the culture of reselling sneakers is dictating for these dudes to not sell so many sneakers.
And I'm not exactly sure that if Nike if Nike had the choice to sell them for $1,400 or not, I think they would sell them for $1,400.
I mean, there's
I
a
wanna
pair of
know-
Dior Jordan ones that cost $2,000.
Son, I would love for them to do the YouTube method, right? So they can really see how many people want these sneakers. You're scared to produce this many sneakers and put them out there, right? I understand that, right? I understand you're scared. Okay, cool. When all these sneakers are announced and everybody, y'all go crazy, like, yo, you know this is coming? I always wonder, is that official from the vendor or is that someone who's part of the culture and doing that? And is that how y'all get your information? Be that whatever it is, right? Let's do these pre-orders. Let's go direct to you. What I tell you, what was the best way of selling t-shirts on YouTube? Son, for 60 to 90 days, we gonna sell one motherfucking shirt. We're gonna make videos showing the whole. Every time we do a video, we gotta tease that shirt, and everybody gotta get their orders in now. And then if your order ain't in by the time, you're never gonna get it. Let the resellers have it after that, because now the resellers can't get a part of that. They could try. Actually, they can get a part of it, but they can't get it as much as they want because now we're all part of the sneaker culture. Now I have a fair shot at getting these sneakers at an appropriate price. I want these sneakers. I have to go to the store and try on a pair that look like them. This is me. This is how I do. Right? I had to try on a pair of sneakers because all they do is just add in colors. I have to put a sneaker on that looks like those to make sure that these 12s ain't actually a size 13 or vice versa.
Right.
All right, cool. I'm ordering. I'm guaranteed because y'all pre-ordering. So I know that I'm getting these sneakers. Now after that, I don't care.
I'm about to fuck your world up because I got different ones that fit different.
No.
The same ass size.
Definitely do, son.
No.
And I'll be like, how fast?
Son, I got royal blues, son.
My royal blues are mad. My royal blues are big.
Fam,
my royal blues are small, son.
Fam, I just went through this. I just went through this not too long ago. I got a pair of sneakers that's one size, and in the same color, they're another size. So I understand that, but I'm still taking my chance. Like today, right? If you were buying a sneaker that you bought today, son, you walked out of there without even trying it on. Nobody tried it on.
Yeah.
So you don't even know if it's gonna fit you or not.
True.
And it's a new style.
It's a new style.
And it's a new style. So I get that part, but the point is, son, I at least get a shot at it. Because now maybe I can trade for someone who like, yo, I thought it was going to be a 13. So I bought a 13. And you like, well, I thought it was going to be a 12. I think I need that 13. And the dude was like, I think I need that 12. Y'all link, y'all swap.
Yeah.
Son.
So
I hear y'all.
But also, remember,
I get it.
Remember, you can have your morals on this conversation, but not everybody gives a fuck about Kobe Bryant. Everybody does give a fuck about maximizing profit.
But I also feel like there are people who does give a fuck about Kobe Bryant,
Don't
but
disagree.
they gotta eat.
Don't disagree. And they still gotta eat.
And they gotta eat.
So I get it.
The pendulum swings.
It doesn't taste good.
You know, I just one more thing on that too, right? This is my beef with anybody who's ever sold drugs, family included.
There you go.
Their idea is, yo, I never sold anybody anything. They was already doing it.
Yeah. Or I never sold it to women, or I never sold it to anyone above the age or under the age. Like, fam, you sold it.
And once it left your hand, you don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Son. Really?
I'm just saying.
Really, son? You didn't see him lean to the side, son?
Son, let him rock, son.
God damn.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's one of those things where with even Sticky said it. They're gonna get it from somebody. Why not be me?
Yeah.
The point is, son, you're contributing to the problem. That's the point.
Yeah.
But he had to eat, right? And he's now someone that we know who make music, and who knows what he did with that. Did he ever come back to it? If we follow and we believe all the stories, Hove did. But how many Hoves are out there?
Yeah.
So we don't know what the end result is going to be, but they're going to do what they want to do. So, son, be upset, but don't let it control you.
Oh,
and you have the right. You absolutely have the right.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't want to leave it to people for their feedback, but
yeah, man.
Maybe it was too soon.
Now ain't no too soon.
Listen,
because
ain't no too soon. It wasn't soon enough.
It's too late. It
wasn't soon enough.
If it ain't too soon, then you missed that boat.
I hear you.
There was people out there. There's like 3 people out there. There was one that was like, Kobe dead. Pew. There was some people who were like, oh shit, this nigga died. Yo, pew. And then there was people like, damn,
I need a jersey.
He died. I ain't gonna do that. That's just the way it works.
And then there's me.
Pew. Fuck them kids.
I'm gonna go see what else is left.
Not the kids that died. 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 Not the kids that died.
Did they miss the Kobe Legos? Let me see if there's some Kobe Legos.
Right. I'm gonna go grab whatever I can get.
I'm just going to Google, type in Kobe and see what's left. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got my Kobe jersey, my blue Los Angeles.
Yeah.
If we didn't have this problem, I wouldn't own anything Kobe because I wasn't buying it before.
I think that's that's a very profound thing that Tawan said.
Yeah.
If I didn't own it already, I mean, and I think Kobe's dope.
I love it too. So
I think it's a travesty, but I don't really feel the need to like.
And my jersey is fairly new. I could sell it. No. I don't even wear. I never thought he was the. I bought it as a fashion statement.
Sure.
It was fashion for me.
Yeah.
But I like Kobe.
Sure.
But I'm definitely not selling. Doesn't matter if I could get $2,000 for that jersey. I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
Bro, I at one point would consider myself a straight up hardcore Knicks fan. I've never owned a Knicks jersey. I do not like the colors.
So
I don't like the fucking colors.
The Knicks, don't fuck the Knicks and Spike Lee. So to not to draw the conversation out even more,
My bad, fam. That's me. I triggered that.
But no. But even if we're gonna look at the scumbags, right? I'm using Tawan's terminology.
Right.
Let's look at the scumbags who are looking to all of a sudden bandwagon.
Right.
You wasn't buying Kobe jerseys when he was alive. Why you want him now? How big of a fan were you if you didn't already have Kobe shit?
And that's what's going on, though.
Nah, hold on. But some of that is just you taking it for granted. It's like when MJ died. Like, son, subconsciously
people do this.
Luxury is time. I don't care what no one says. Luxury is time. People always think they got time.
Yeah.
That's why at funerals, people be so upset because they thought they had time to make amends. They thought they had time to say, yo, I love you. They thought they had time to say, yo, thank you for these memories that you did. Yo, I never forgot that. They never had the chance to do it.
Sure.
Because they think it's always going to be there, and then you get reminded in situations such as the Kobe situation.
Right.
So now that he's gone, everybody who this thing was in their mind, I'm going to get to it one day. I'm going to get to it soon. I'm going to do it. Because even me, I have stuff right now that I'm going to buy that at some point. And then you know what happens to me? They don't make it no more. And now I'm assed out.
But I don't think we can shoehorn that into this. Because what I'm saying is, these are fans that want a piece of Kobe.
Yeah.
But if you was a fan, you would have already had a piece of Kobe.
But
so I feel like you a social media justice warrior. Let me get something that I could take a picture of and post up to show my support for Kobe. That's not your support for Kobe. That's your support for Nike or whoever the fuck makes that jersey.
I'm a fan of Jordan. I don't have nothing Jordan.
But that's my point. So if Jordan dies tomorrow, I don't expect you to go out and get some ones. Actually, you don't have to do that because Tawan and I will come together.
Fuck you.
To make it happen.
Fuck you.
But I didn't say anything.
Fuck those Jordans and fuck those kids.
I didn't say anything.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just another. It's just another perspective that popped in my head.
Right. Yeah.
Scumbags are selling the scumbags.
Yeah.
Everybody else who really cared about Kobe already has. Now, if you see his wife or his kid out there, like, yo, here's something I made for my dad, and it's on sale, which I don't think is a real thing because they should be okay in terms of finances.
Right.
But that's when I can be like, I'll buy something.
If I was an artist,
you get what I mean?
If I was popping, I would make something and send it in hopes that she gets it.
Oh, she'll definitely get it.
Well, we weren't at the Staples Center, so I'm not sure she'll get it now.
There's a foundation that she leads. It's
for Kobe.
That is not the it's the
she
Vanessa,
herself has always done something.
Kobe and Vanessa something foundation.
Okay.
Don't hold me to it. God, listen.
Just Google it. If it exists.
There's a foundation that exists. If you want to donate anything on behalf of Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, there is a foundation that is headed by his wife.
Right.
That exists. That you can donate whatever you need.
Which is the complete opposite of what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you don't have to buy something.
Both buying and selling, right? Because you buying this piece of merchandise from a reseller that got it from Nike does what for his kids?
Yeah, I could see now if Nike was all proceeds of all
goes to that
foundation.
Then we can make a big stink.
Yes.
Because we trying to get to the foundation, but y'all raising the prices.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely.
We could talk about that if that was the case.
Or one could say that if you buy all the sneakers that go to the foundation, then you've just supported the foundation.
Perhaps.
I'll tell you how I would
Always
get
a way
some
to look
Kobe
at it.
sneakers, right? Especially if they make something in colors that I can rock with.
There are no colors here that you can rock with?
I'm not looking at those sneakers, sir.
Son, these are Kobe sneakers, son.
Where it goes to, because I'm concerned about those kids that's part of the Mama Academy. I'm concerned about those other initiatives that he had. If I could contribute something directly, and not even get a sneaker, if I could contribute something directly towards that, I will. Because I wish, hell no. Because I wish that someone contributed to what I used to dance at, where I used to play ball at.
Because it was important for you.
Because it was important for me. It was important to the area.
And if
these sneakers are beautiful, son.
Go fuck yourself.
A cheetah wouldn't even wear those sneakers.
And they look like a cheetah.
So I would do that. Because it's like the thing when I was telling you about the line, the animation, the black animation thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to give you money for the book. I'm just going to give you money. Like, I don't need something for that. You know what I mean? So
okay, it's
important that, and especially the thing. Sorry to keep dragging this. Those things for the women in sports, son, is very crucial. We grew up with girls that quit sports because of representation.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, and it was
sure,
and they didn't have opportunities to keep those tournaments going. So, you know, I'm all about that.
I want to live to see a woman play in the NBA.
I just want I just want the WNBA to rock out. I want them to be on top. I want them to have more attention.
And understand what I'm saying here.
I know what you mean.
I don't think women can compete against men because these motherfuckers are just it's just a physique thing. But I feel like tell me that women dominate the point guard position. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a reason why a point guard, we can't have point guards are us in the NBA. Because traditionally it's been a role that is it doesn't require that crazy physique.
Right.
You know, I don't know if there's women that's 7 foot tall. Let them rock too.
It's not that much, yeah.
It's not many, but they are.
And if we like that whole shit the other day with the MMA women fighter versus men's, that worries me. Not for the fact of equality, that worries me about straight up physique versus physique. And maybe they figured it out. Nah, these, they can lift the same or whatever. Like, all right, cool, let it rock.
Son.
I guess it's gonna come down to punching power.
Son.
Yeah.
Son, some woman is gonna get in that ring. And get the bejesus knocked out of her. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm just saying.
I think South Park does a very good job of making jokes about this, and they're actually saying something that's really truthful. Fam, there's a reason why things are over here and things are over there. The only thing that needs to stop is the prejudice behind what's it.
Sure.
Son, we need to acknowledge that there are reasons why one is one way, one is the other. What we should also be working towards is make sure that the playing field is even and equal and fair. They're doing over here what they're doing over here. There's both entertainment. People in general need to recognize that what they're doing is tough as well.
Yeah.
So don't pay them less. They wouldn't get paid so less if people were, there's a women MMA fight? All right, we going to go check that out. We having fight night for the women-only event. Son, that's not happening.
Yeah.
That's why the women's wrestling, the Royal Rumble thing was such a big deal. And the women have been kicking the men's ass. Yeah. In terms of the eye test for me. Yeah. And I'm not even watching wrestling like that.
I feel like the numbers also count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's some fuckface executive somewhere that's like, yeah, but look at the number streams of the WNBA games. Yeah. But then, like, fam, you only put the shit on, like, UPN 9 or something.
Bro.
Like, what if we drop a WNBA game at the 7 p.m. slot on Sunday?
Well, the other thing, too, is, right?
Very true.
Son, they get a summer.
Yeah, they get, but the argument is they only get 2 months.
They get
the NBA gets, what,
Son, they get
7, 8 months?
The NBA
school
get
year.
A school year.
Yeah, a school year.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a bigger conversation. Bigger than the resellers.
Well, anyway, we're going to cap it here.
Yeah, man.
My name is Ramon.
And I'm the angry guy,
and I
Kicks God.
Not wearing any Jordan snow.
Yeah, you gonna have some fucking
gonna
Jordans.
fix you.
I'm gonna fix you
I'm
soon.
about to get these hands.
Yeah, all that for some fucking Jordans? God damn, son.